Hello, Sims. Welcome to the Past podcast. I'm Motisma 2000, and as a co-host, we're gonna have Robo. And today's guest is Bryce and CHaOS Pointman.
Hello, hello.
Hey, thanks for having us.
No
No
problem.
problem.
So this is gonna be the first episode. We're gonna have two people like right at the beginning instead of the spirals one where he just joins out of nowhere. And also, it might be a little better than the others since I've been waiting to schedule with Pointman for a long time now. And might as well I also asked Bryce at the same time because why not?
hmm
So, before we start the general questions, you guys can yeah, introduce yourselves.
Well, my name is Bryce. I guess like the PF community knows me as either Series WXM or Surantaro. I'm a current player on CHaOS, and that's it about me.
What
Uh,
about you, Pointman?
I'm Pointman. I'm current team rep for CHaOS. I've used to play a lot in CPFL in the early seasons of CPFO and a couple of the other leagues in between. So if you don't know me, if you're sort of joined more recently, that's where my background comes from. But right now, I'm the one of the reps for CHaOS and SEL season one.
All right, well, that's nice and easy. So let's go to the basic questions, like the first one. I'll be asking Bryce then Pointman afterwards so that it can be
Okay.
more uh like so that it's not chaotic.
hmm
So, Bryce, when did you start playing Phantom Forces?
I mean, I started playing Band of Horses like whenever uh there's a period in time where it was like the 4th of July and there was an Independence update where basically like the game was free for a weekend, and that's when I started playing. But like I I really got into the game when it first became free like for the public during the beta.
So, when was which 4th of July?
Man, it's probably like 20. It was like I don't know, 2015, 2016, something like that, or whenever like it was in development.
Uh, What about you, Pointman?
I had friends introduce me to Phantom Forces. I think when it was in like either alpha or pre-alpha, but that was on another account. And then yeah, I got into it from there. I really liked it because I never played any like Call of Robloxy or anything like that. So I really vibed with Phantom Forces. It seemed pretty cutting edge for the platform. Like especially back when it was made, it was really ahead of a lot of the other games, like head and shoulders above, and still is to a large degree. And I got in ever since that and really liked the game and eventually got into the community side of it as well.
All right, that's interesting to know that you've been playing since almost more than the majority of players because pre-alpha, it's that's pretty that's a pretty long time ago, like 5 years ago or something. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
something
that's
like
that's
that.
a long time. All right, well, Robo can take this next question.
So Bryce, what made you continue playing Phantom Forces to this day?
um, well, unlike Appointment, like I grew up kind of playing like solid studio games like the original Call of Roblox. After
hmm
that, I played like the kind of newer version of it, and then once I heard that Phantom Forces was coming out, I was definitely interested, and like it's just always been a way for me to kind of enjoy myself. So that's that's why like I still continue to play the game. I find it enjoyable, like to just kind of just relax sometimes, and then also just like talk to the friends that I made in the
Shit
community.
on kids at the same time.
It's the easiest game if you just want to go hop on and play a couple of games because there's
Oh
no
yeah,
like queue. Just you join, you're in a game and you can play. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
mm. So what about you, Pointman?
Yeah, so I started playing the game, and what made it really fun was like there's a lot of ways you can play the game, which it sort of lends itself to me a lot. And then also getting good at it, like Phantom Forces became at a certain point like something that I could just turn my mind off while doing, like in a public server. So I can just like if I'm having a particularly stressful day, I can just hop in a public server, sort of like allow my mind just to relax and just like sort of relapse back into that muscle memory, which is really nice. And then there's this great community side of it where there's tons of people I can interact with all over the world. So it makes it fun just to like engage with that side of PF, which I think is underrated. Like PF does have a really good community. And then there's the competitive side too, which is like like I'm a very competitive person. So when I'm actually like trying to, or at least back when I was like competing regularly and practicing regularly, like when I was in that mode, it was really cool and really fun to both like link up with my team and get really close with them, but then also like be hyper focused together, be like winning together, we'd be screaming, be yelling, and like that's just a feeling that's very hard to replicate sometimes with other games. And Phantom Forces really fit into like that sort of niche spot in a really well and cool way. So I've always liked it and always found it something I can come back to, even when I've like had periods of inactivity.
Very well.
Okay.
That's good to know. So, what do you continue playing Phantom Forces? Like, what makes you continue, Bryce?
What makes me? I mean, mainly just the people that I've met along the way. Because, I mean, if I hadn't continued to play the game, I wouldn't have met, like a lot of the friends that I have online at least. So I'm very grateful for the game itself. That's why I still play it.
Would you want to give a shout out to some people?
Man, there's just so many. Like probably people like Roman, my boy Ty, aka Rare Force. Um, I mean Zach. There's just like so many people that I can name, but those are probably the most impactful for me at least.
All right. What about you, Pointman? Why did you continue playing?
Yeah, I'd have to echo the same thing as Bryce. Like it's about like bumping into people, meeting people. Like we've been playing it for so long, and there's like people who have quit the community. Like you don't know, you can bump into them just in a public server, like someone you haven't seen in like 3 years, and that's super neat. Like there's that moment where you reconnect. You're like, wait a second,
Yeah,
how's
true.
it going, dude? Yeah, and then it can sort of rekindle a lot of stuff, and it's a fun game too. Like people don't give it enough credit, I think. Like it's got a pretty good movement selection, especially with the recent updates. There's a lot of ways to customize your guns and actually change them into something that's like significantly different than what they might have been elsewhere. Like it's a game that you can just actually just try to find a fun gun and just like grind away an hour, just like enjoying the game for the game's sake, throwing some music in the background.
Yeah. And do you have shout outs?
Oh man, there's really too many to like say. Like I could shout out so many like the original CHaOS community back when like that was a bigger thing. The original like teams I played with, just like the people I played against. There's honestly so many that like if any of you guys are listening, you know how you guys are, and always you guys have had a big impact on me. Appreciate that.
So
So it's
everyone has had
mostly
like the same impact,
a community thing that makes you guys keep playing.
For sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
not just because of the game, mostly because of the community. That's it.
Uh, well, I kind of play the game because I think I'm pretty good at it. I mean,
You
like,
think?
e-
Okay.
I mean, even if I wasn't that good at it, I would probably still play just like you know be
Less
with
often.
my friends.
No, that's
Hmm.
true. There's some fun games. Like CS:GO is really fun. I'm not really good at it, so like if I'm trying to relax, I probably don't want to play CS:GO because I'm gonna get angry because I'm just getting like dominated by people. But yeah, like it doesn't happen as much, which is nice.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's get to the next question. So in 5 years, there's gonna be Call of Robloxia that's gonna come out. Do you guys think you're gonna play it?
Man, in
What?
5 years, I'm gonna be graduated from college, bro, and like I'm probably gonna be like the plan is I'm gonna go to medical school, so like I I don't know if I'm gonna have time for that, but like I mean I guess if I do have time, I'll definitely like give it a shot. But honestly, I probably wouldn't like take it too seriously. I'll just like kind of hop on here and there, and just like so that way I can just play with like some friends or whatever.
Yeah. What about you, Pointman? In 5 years?
Yeah, I mean that's a long time. I don't know. I'd probably have to like echo the same thing as Bryce. To be honest, like if you'd asked me 5 years ago if I'd still be playing Phantom Forces, I probably would have told you no way. But I mean, here I am right now. So I don't know. Like, we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna say yeah or no, but if it's a fun game, for sure, I'm down. The stylist devs, like they're also learning too. So the more time they give themselves and the more they're experimenting, like the game's probably going to be better than Phantom Forces. So if I'm still enjoying Phantom Forces in 5 years, I'll probably be enjoying Call of Robloxy, the new one.
Is it actually 5 years? Like we always say
I
this
mean,
in every
I've heard
episode,
a
but
lot of people from what I've
actually
from what
five
I know.
years to make a Roblox game?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I founded CHaOS actually July 14th. I have it right in front of me. July 14th, 2016. And it's 2021 January right now. So CHaOS itself is actually coming up on a 5 year anniversary, which is insane for me to think about. And I've definitely been playing Phantom Force a little bit longer than that. So, sheesh.
I was
yeah.
actually more on about it. It takes 5 years to develop core, but that works too.
I mean,
Throw me
it
under the
depends
bus like
because
that.
most games now, like most of the top games now, take about that time.
Really?
I
Sheesh.
mean, have you seen like last like I think it was Final Fantasy? It took like 10 years to make it or something.
Yeah, but
Wow,
that's
what the hell?
Final Fantasy, man. This is a Lego game where you shoot people.
It
I don't know.
depends. We'll see. I mean, from what I've heard, people told me it was 5 years, and I was like, bro, really?
I think
Even
it
I
depends
didn't
on
believe
like
it at first.
what they add to the game. Honestly, like how they
It's
try to
gonna be a
structure it.
complete different mechanic from Phantom Forces.
Mhm.
From what I've seen, like your weapon will gain levels. It's not like it's not like gonna be you.
Oh,
Like,
okay, okay.
yeah, so when your weapon levels up, you're gonna get attachments. Basically like Call of Duty.
Yeah, that
It's
sounds interesting.
basically Call of Duty on Roblox. Yeah, it's gonna
Which
be
makes
almost
sense.
exactly like it.
Which
What?
makes
Okay.
sense. Which makes sense, seeing how
Yeah, Call
Call
of
of
Roblox.
Roblox,
Yeah,
yeah, is Call of Duty ripoff. So
who would have guessed?
yeah, I know.
Not me. All right, well, let's get to competitive questions now.
All right.
So, Bryce, when did you get in competitive?
Uh, well, I was around CPFL days, but I was never really a player. But my first real kind of start, like where I became like really active, was probably around season season 8 of CPFO, like near the end of it. I played on a team called Hyper, and then I ended up like getting to know people like Zach, aka Culprits, and like the rest is kind of history from there.
Okay. What about you, Pointman?
So I'm gonna say I got forced into it because when I like made when I made CHaOS, there were a lot of people who were like, "Oh, we want to have like a competitive team," and I actually didn't even know much about competitive, and they started linking me towards CPFL, and like enough, like we sort of put it up to a vote, like, "Hey, who would be interested in this?" There were so many people who were like, "Oh shoot, I guess I got to make a competitive team." So I got into it that way, but then I really liked it. It was tough at first. Like the community's come a long way in terms of becoming like more welcoming and less toxic, but especially in like CPFL days, there was like a lot of friction to like new teams joining and new players, especially. So that was like tough getting through. But at the end of the day, like it made us a really strong core while we had that team together because we were sort of like underdogs fighting up. And then it got easier as we got better too. So yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, let's go to the next question that won't be very hard to answer for Chaos, for Pointman. So, what were your previous teams, Bryce?
Uh, Here he seems hyper. Let's see, hyper Zen Serenity, Illitos. Um, for those are CPFO. Then for like PFDL, it was like Australia, Great and Canada. Team called Squirrels in My Pants. Those are the two notable ones. And right now for SCL, Pravda, and then I switched to Chaos Gaming.
What about you, Pointman? Hardest question
Chaos
so
for life. Yeah, I mean, it's got in the name.
yeah, bro.
Sheesh. I mean, yeah. No,
Was
I
very
never.
difficult for you to answer, right?
Yeah, it's
Had
extremely
to think about
difficult.
it.
A
You're
long
probably the
list.
only person who's like been in one team and one team only.
Yeah,
I feel like.
that's true. You're the only
Yeah,
person who's been in only one team,
that's why I'm the number
except
one team
oh,
rep.
no, actually, no. Yeah, and not only you, which is
Oh,
pretty funny to think about it. Technically, you're the most loyal player of all competitive.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
Tell
Pointman is a
everyone.
legend.
Yeah, bro.
so like
All right.
no.
Well,
So
Robo can
talking
take this one.
about like Pravda and stuff. So when Pravda disbanded, like did most of you just go to Chaos immediately, or?
That is it. That is an interesting question because, like, I mean, a lot of the guys are actually gonna like leave or not community, but just like kind of sit the season out.
Okay.
But it was kind of in a way kind of up to me because like Roman had reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to join Chaos?" Because like if you do, we'll definitely have a spot open for you. But at the same time, I was like kind of talking to Nolan and gang, and I was like, yeah, "Hey, do you guys still have a spot open?" And it was kind of a decision between Chaos and gang at the time. But like after playing with Roman and PFMM and like seeing the way that we play together, I was like, man, I can't let this go. Like, this is gonna be like a really good thing for not just like the team, but for the league because it's gonna make it more competitive. And then that in turn also kind of brought Tom or Duskia uh, to Chaos, and also brought Nathan to Chaos as well. So yeah, that's what really happened after Pravda disbanded. And then of course he had like all the other guys like join their respective teams.
The most mental
Um,
one is I don't know his name's like Anicitas. He like didn't join the team and then at the end he joined Ala Gaming in minor. Like come
Oh
on, man.
yeah, that's I think he was just trying to find a team at that point because like I mean I honestly I wouldn't want to like just sit out the season if I like already invested enough time into it.
Hmm.
Hala Gaming.
I think
Shout
I
out to
think
Hala
I think he
Gaming.
just I think he just wants to shit on minor players. I'll be honest, but you know, yeah, and that's fair. Sometimes you just want to feel like you're better without putting effort into it.
Mm.
Well, I'll be asking this one. So, if you guys have kept up with SCL, so in Major, who are the top five best teams?
Top five,
Yeah,
in my opinion, it's
like in order.
in order. Well, right now I would say it's of course like you can like take your pick one or two. Gang Chaos, um, Cartel.
Okay.
Uh, let me take a look at it real quick. Cartel. Honestly,
Wait, who would you say is third place?
I think it's
third.
like
I would say
Cartel.
Cartel is third.
Yeah,
Why
And
why
then
not Team Nuts?
uh,
because one practices and the
I
other
think they're a little bit
doesn't.
rusted. But like if they like that could go like back and forth as well. Like depending
If they
on
were in their peak, TN would be number
oh
one
yeah,
for sure.
number one.
There's no doubt
Oh,
TN would be top one
I don't know about
maybe
that
maybe.
one. It's a
in
hot
Yeah.
their
take.
peak. Appointment in their peak,
I still don't know about that, honestly. I'll still push back
bro.
on that. Yeah, I will.
Are, are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm telling
Okay.
you, like the way that everyone's playing right now, like I don't really know about players in their peak, but like I'm pretty sure the guys right now, like that are performing their best right now, they wouldn't like they would put up a good fight, and I think they'd like pull out on top. But yeah, so it's like 1-2 gang chaos. Let's see, cartel nuts, and then I'm still gonna have to say AZ is gonna be five, but
Even
Noble
though their
could
team
honestly
is in,
slip in there.
even if their team is in shambles.
Honestly,
with the
I
recent
think
incidents.
yeah, I think they picked up box status recently.
Oh,
Oh
So
okay.
shit. Oh
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
okay.
so
Oh,
like
all right. I
Never
they're
see.
still
mind.
very
Okay.
strong, and it's like they just have to play
Yeah,
like
bro.
their best. But I think they're definitely fine.
Yeah.
Could probably argue that guy has an upgrade. So
Mm.
You cannot deny the fact box status wouldn't actually help AZ.
Oh
so
yeah, for
po-
sure.
so Pointman, is your list the same or any different?
Mine's a little bit different. I think definitely Gang and Chaos, like, is one or two. You can choose that. Cartel
That's
is three.
undeniable.
Yeah, for sure. I think Cartel definitely is third because I think Cartel practices a lot more and also like their teamwork is really cohesive as a result of like practicing scrimming, like just being active with each other.
Hmm.
And also like just doing stuff through PFM, like they're very sharp. Nuts has a lot of firepower, so I'd probably put them as four. And I think like if one of those guys has a really like good standout game, like that could really be a difference turner in say a match between Cartel for that third spot. But I'd probably still like I still think like 70% of the time Cartel's gonna beat Nuts in like fair maps. And then for fifth, I actually have Azon or Noble as fifth because I think like Azon has a strong team. Um
Yeah, but didn't they actually get absolutely just swept by Gang?
yeah, but like you got I okay, so so I put Cartel as third, for example, and like by some accounts, like when we played Cartel just recently on Desert, it was a 299 like TDM game, which like people would say like that's sort of getting swept too, but it's not always as simple as that. Like just boiling down to one round, especially because you'll have people who didn't have a good game, sides, map, all that kind of stuff factors in. So I wouldn't write them off just for that. And I think Noble has a good lineup that just needs more time to like come together as far as like cohesion and chemistry go. Because I look at it on paper and I see a lot of really good players, but I just think they need more time, honestly, as a team.
Okay.
Yeah. So who do you think like do you think AZ is better than Azon?
Hmm.
I'm not really sure to be honest. Like recently, obviously, like there's with like the Wally thing, for example, there's been some stuff that's like throwing that up in the air. And then, but I also
Wally's
haven't really been
gone.
like,
I forgot.
yeah, yeah. So I also haven't been following like the two, like I keep track of their match logs, but like I haven't been following them too intently. So I don't want to say something that might like piss off one side just because I don't know like
Wait,
their
what?
recent
Okay,
stats and all.
quick one. So where do you put FBR?
FBR is it no like FBR is tricky because like FBR is by like all accounts a new gen team for like the
But they
most part.
beat Cartel 2-0.
Yeah, I know they beat a different roster of Cartel because that was like with different roster changes.
Yeah.
And I also don't think Cartel probably was expecting them to like swing as hard as they were. I was looking at FBR's like track up to the majors in placement, and of their five placement matches, four of the teams they faced actually ended up in the majors, and they beat two of them. So
Yeah.
like against major teams like coming in, they had a 50% win rate, which is like pretty good. And it's probably the hardest tournament run any team had, and they still managed to get to majors, honestly, which is prop to
Definitely,
them. But they
it's
need more
definitely
time.
the best new gen team
Yeah, for
for
my
by
Yeah.
far.
everyone
It's
always
the
says
best.
TM, but in my opinion, it's FPR that's the best major team because they've actually,
Hmm.
beaten
They need
major
more
teams.
time, and they need to be scrimming more and like just getting more exposure so their team can come together.
They're
Because
hard to
when we
scrim
were
with.
Yeah, I tried to set something up with them and it just like didn't really work
Yeah.
out because I heard they were a good objective team. And if they could get more experience with the team and also as individuals, like they could turn into a really powerful team that like brings a unique style of play in
Yeah,
because they're
but
so
aren't they
objective
Brazilian?
based.
They're Brazilian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most of their time zone should be EST,
Yeah,
EST and
exactly.
EST, CST, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be the majority of the time zone, so shouldn't be hard to schedule with
I
technically.
think it's because they have a limited amount of time, like during the weekend stuff like that.
Uh,
That's fair.
yeah, because in matter of time, like they wouldn't have any problems. because like CST and EST are like the two easiest to schedule with because the majority of people are in those time zones, and yet they have difficulties scheduling. Well, from what you just said, so that makes me wonder how.
I mean,
So
like
as you,
people got lives too, so it could be
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I
yeah,
feel for that.
but
I
it's
understand.
like there's a difference between not being able to schedule and no name. You know?
Okay. Okay. You guys played any other games competitively before Phantom Forces, or
Uh,
maybe even after? Some of yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about like kind of like
I'm gonna just say no, I haven't.
semi-pro, pro, no. But I
Okay.
mean, like, of course you have like ranked, like
Okay.
Valorant, CS, stuff like that, Overwatch. Like that's about it. It's not like very organized like the way Phantom Forces is, but yeah, just kind of like matchmaking.
Right. What about you, Pointman?
He said no.
Oh, didn't hear that because Bryce was talking.
Oh, my bad.
Um.
Oh,
Oh. Oh.
oh,
Oh.
oh.
Goodbye, Pointman.
Bye bye
Oh, I
point.
think
Oh,
yeah, he's back.
welcome back
Welcome back,
point.
Pointman.
My audio cut. My audio cut.
All right. So I've had a question. Do you guys think we're gonna lose a map? Do you
That-
guys think we're gonna lose one?
I think it was Bryce who said TM was good, so he probably will say yes. Or was it
TM.
someone
Oh,
else?
you talking about past losing a map?
Yeah.
Uh, I gotta I I gotta root for the boys on TM.
You
You know,
see, this
you
guy's
got the boy.
this guy's the reason why people think TM is better because he just
Look,
likes
Yeah,
it.
not like Bryce. You do know we went one round against TM, then they forfeited the second round, right?
Okay,
Had
okay,
like,
listen to me though. Like, I know you guys have like previous comic experience, but like, don't sleep on those TM boys. I'm telling you,
No,
they're
it'll
actually
be.
kind of crazy.
I think it'll be.
yeah,
It'll
we
be.
went against their top roster,
I
and we,
think like my entire team is shit talking like TM, but I think it'll be
Hmm.
close. I think it'll be close.
oh
Definitely a
yeah,
good
okay.
match.
I think
Maybe,
shit
okay,
talking's like a
maybe we should
dangerous thing
scrim
to
them.
do, honestly.
Maybe we should try to get a scrim without getting stand-ins like the usual. Because the problem with pass, I'm gonna say it right now, is that most of the players are leaving. Right now we're 7 players because
Oh
technically
damn.
G4X isn't really in the team right now.
No, he's in the
So,
team right now.
oh, okay.
Yeah, we got to accept
Well,
him.
then we're 8 players.
Okay.
So
Wow.
one more, if one player leaves, we have to disband because we're under the minimum,
Mhm.
which is a thing that also is a big problem with
Well,
teams.
let me tell you, if someone leaves, I'm not telling anyone he left.
But also the problem is, me who is by far the most uh active member in this team. Me, like I mean, me, Robo, and probably Snot are like the three most active.
Joe's
I put
also really
almost,
active. Yeah.
yeah, but not as much as like me and you. Like me and Robo are like always there. We can beat every scrims almost, like all the time. But the problem is one of the two is banned. I don't wonder who it is.
It's not me.
But also a thing that I think is that the ban is for talking about cheats in DMs, three
Mm.
months. That's I feel like that's
And
exaggerated.
it's not like he was like saying, "Oh yeah, this is the link, download it here" or something. It wasn't like he was like
Yeah.
teaching someone to get cheats. It
Hey,
was
bro, these cheats are super good, bro. You should try them out. Like, it's not like I said that. I just showed screenshots of why Wadict got banned in the first place, like him having the cheats. And I think, okay, one of the two things is either he thought I was cheating, I had the cheats,
Hmm.
or, I mean, I don't know how he would think that, or he thought I knew Wadic was cheating. So he reported me for that, and then I got banned for talking about cheats. And 3 months, I would have expected like a month. A month, yeah, that would have been reasonable.
Hmm.
But 3 months for talking about cheats, that's like as much as fucking getting banned in Phantom Forces almost.
I think you have to be like really careful about, especially what you say around kind of style staff in a stylist league, like because you know what you say in CVFO, like you definitely like what would seem like questionable, like it would probably like not slide at all, and SEO. So like, it's like I don't know the whole situation, but like you just got to be like extremely cautious,
Yeah, but the problem is 3 months. That's what I'm wondering. 3 months. Like I feel like
That is a
it's
long
too
time.
severe. Like
So,
from what I've heard, CPFL wasn't very severe. From what I've heard,
Mm.
and now
CPFL
SCL
was
is like,
really bad, to be quite honest, though. Like
yeah,
that
SCL is too severe now.
well, that's the thing. It's like Stylus broke ties with CPFL because of how badly it was run from like a toxicity standpoint, like the presence and proximity of cheats, even amongst the people who are running the tournament. And that's been like one of the reasons why they've been so distant from competitive was because of how like sour a taste that left in their mouth, so to speak. And then even with like CPFO, they've been like I would say their relationship, at least at certain stages, with how they dealt with cheaters was, in my opinion, like too lenient because they would like be letting people who cheated a month ago like come back. And not that that like means that you were doing cheats, but I'm just saying that I see why SEL is going for like a much harsher stance to try to like clear the air in a way of
But
speaking
the
and
thing is,
also
you
keep this as
said
a
that they
long-term thing.
cheated and then get banned for like a month for cheating, and now it's 3 months for talking about cheats.
Yeah, no, no. I'm saying that was too lenient, and that was like a CPFO thing. That wasn't like when Stylus was involved. So it makes sense that like SEL, like not weighing in on the thing, but I do see, and I also do agree with like the fact that SEL is taking a lot of things more seriously and trying to expect like a higher level of standards just across like everyone participating in the league.
my problem with this ban is that Mod got banned by a rule that didn't exist when he actually broke the rule. So,
Yeah, maybe like there should have been like a stern warning.
yeah, I feel like
I didn't get warned.
a warning, and then they would have written down the
Yeah.
rule instead of writing
Yeah,
down the
no, no,
rule
no.
saying, yeah, you broke this. It's like if I saw someone trip on the street and I'm like the god emperor of that country, it's like, yeah, tripping is illegal. You're now going to the execution
Mm.
room. So it's
Like I said, I don't really understand the whole situation, but like from
it's
what
just so weird to me. Like it's
yeah,
so
it's
weird to me. Like obviously I get why what Dict was banned, the cheater. Like that makes complete sense. Yeah, but
mm,
why what?
And plus, it's not appealable.
Mod basically
wow.
played the first match of the season with us, and then is now banned for the entire season
Mm.
because that's how
I
long
still
it's
have
been.
like a little less than no. Actually, I have exactly a month to go. 1 month left to go,
Yeah.
and I just don't understand why. Like, I wanted to appeal, but never heard anything. And the thing that would probably work is if like we actually do a like group effort to actually make them understand that that rule is stupid. Like stupid that it's 3 months and without warned. Like if I were to get warned about it to not do it ever again, I would be like, oh okay, I'm not gonna do it again. But no, it's
Yeah.
just oh you did it,
Ban.
ban immediately.
Mm.
I feel like we
Like
should move on from this now. Like we
yeah,
actually talked about this in the Panda one as well. So
yeah. But now we went a
yeah.
little bit more into details now with this one.
um.
So well, so most of you like won't actually answer the second part of this. The three teammates you've had the most fun with, and the three that you've had the less fun with.
Least.
Not at least, yeah.
uh, the most fun. Oh my
Pointman
goodness.
finds that very funny.
You know what's
Oh my
funny?
goodness.
He made the same like mistake last episode. He said less fun. It's like just ain't right, Motisma. Anyway.
Bro, okay, buddy.
Let's
Not my
continue.
fault I'm French.
Canadian.
All
Well,
right, let's
French
see.
Canadian. I don't want to relate to because I know
Damn,
what?
3 good teammates. Shit. Uh,
Like
Are
well,
you've
these our
had the
best like
most
in
the
skill?
fun with. Like the three teammates you have the most fun with. Like
okay,
that you're
okay.
the best buddies
Yeah, your best buds you've
Uh,
been in team with.
one of
and not
them I'm gonna have to
against.
say Ty. because like he's the one that like kind of like taught me how to become like the player that I am right now. Like told me how to position and like told me what I need to do to work on my aim and stuff like that. The second teammate is probably Roman because like I mean me and Roman are like all these guys are not just friends like in game, but like they're friends like I talk to them outside of the game. So Roman is the second one because like I mean we when we do play together, like I feel like we're a very powerful duo and it's like we can once we get like started, like it's hard to kind of stop us, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Especially Roman now is like top 3,
oh
I
yeah.
think.
Oh yeah. And it's just
Yeah.
like our play styles kind of like complement each other because he's more the anchor, I'm more of like the kind of aggro player. So I can trust him to cover me while like I push up and stuff like that. And the third teammate is probably there's like so many. Like it's either Tom or Nathan because like Tom is just like kind of like the mental rock for me because he whenever I'm kind of like
Super chill as well.
oh yeah whenever I'm kind of tilted he'll kind of just like calm me down. And then also like Nathan is also just a very good friend of mine and I mean we always just like mess around and stuff. So
Nathan is friend with everyone almost.
oh
I don't
yeah,
know one person who dislikes Nathan.
he's a good guy. So that's
Yeah.
my like 3/4. So
What about the 3 least? Yeah, least,
least
Robo.
You don't have to answer this one if you don't
yeah, I
want to,
know.
by the way.
I don't really dislike any. I didn't really dislike any of my teammates. I mean, I guess there are some people that like I don't like personally, but like I don't let that affect me during like in a team environment, you know. So
Are these
I mean,
people?
are these people? I'd rather not say, but like
Oh, that would have been good content.
yeah, nah, it's not. It's nothing too deep. It's just like I may not agree with how they act or like the way they act towards me, but like I've been on teams with them, and it's like it's whatever. You know, I don't let it. I don't let the personal stuff get in the way of like, you know, a business, like quote unquote.
Business.
Alright, so what
VM.
about you, Pointman? You who
I'd
has a
probably
very long comp history, probably have a lot of teammates in mind.
I mean, yeah, I've had a lot of really good teammates. So it's sort of difficult to pick like the best ones, I suppose. One I'll definitely say is Slay and Cheetah for those guys, for those of you who know him. We just had we had really good chemistry in game that we'd often like back when I think PF was played a little bit more like strategically or like little with a little more structure, I'd say. We would often like go up on duos for objective rounds and be playing off each other, and we just had good synergy that way. And we still like talk to each other quite a bit. Another one I'd say would be Pulse Red, just because he was always a super funny dude. He was like an LMG. He had this like really thick, awesome accent. He's just so much fun to be in the server with. So we would always be like laughing while we were playing. And then the other one I'd probably say would be Krabby Epic. There was a little bit of a falling out that him and some of the other core members of our roster had at a certain time, but he was also a dude that we would just be having a lot of fun, like in and outside the server with, chilling. Pretty much most of those guys, like we all follow each other on Instagram. I texted him like Merry Christmas or whatever. Like we're all very close and it still goes back. Sort of similar as Bryce. I don't really have any that like I any teammates I didn't like. There were some people who I just didn't really vibe with their play style, but also like when I was playing, I was also the in-game leader, so I had a little bit more control over like how people were playing, so that was not really a problem. And like I said, like PF, I think back then was a little more had more structure into it. And then there were just a couple of people outside the game that I didn't vibe with as much and just never really got to the level of friends. Like we were teammates, but that was like pretty much the extent of it. But no one I really hated or hated me, I don't think. I've always been on good terms with everyone I've played with. And I feel like they would probably say the same thing about me.
So now there's the three you had the most fun with. Now there's the three you think has the most skill and the least skill.
Most skilled teammate.
Top three as
Um.
well.
Okay. Um.
Me, of course. No, talking about you, like Bryce saying me, you know?
Uh. Let's see. Let's see. Right now, shit, that's hard. I mean, probably Roman, Ty, and shit. It's just a lot, really.
Yeah.
Roman, Ty, and yeah, I'm gonna have to say like Nathan or Tom, honestly.
The same
Like,
thing as the previous question. Damn.
yeah, like I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
they're
Tom is
like
cracked.
yeah,
You cannot
they're my
deny it.
friends, yeah, and like I just like I know they're insane at the game, so it's like nothing really changed there. So
The only
What about
befriend the good
three least
players,
skilled?
SMH.
Yeah. What about three least skilled? Hold on. Fuck, bro.
That's a loaded question.
I
Chaos
mean,
Point, man, number one.
let's see.
Oh,
I mean, nah, Pointman is my homie. That Pointman is like the best team rep. All right, hold on.
ah,
This is a little bit off topic, but like, let me go shout out my boy Pointman real quick, cause like this man, even before I was on Chaos, like he was just a cool guy. Like I didn't even really talk to him. It was just like his presence was like I could tell he was a good guy, like by heart. So I was like, once I joined his team, I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
But he may be a
But
good guy, but we're not talking about being a good person. We're talking about being a good player.
I mean, no, Pointman is he's a very good player. So I don't. I mean, I don't really keep track of like the bad
Yeah,
players. If I
no,
want to be honest.
it's kind of also hard to say because maybe it's like
Yeah.
someone in this season, but you don't want to say it because they're on your team and it like demotivates them.
No, seriously, like no, Chaos is an insane team. So like, nobody on Chaos is bad. So
Well, Motisma is like muted. Like, it's so mental that you guys have the guy called that Raptor guy, and it's so
Raptor
mental.
is good.
No, but
DB Raptor
did
TV.
you know Raptor? So he was actually not in Pass, but in Pass Academy before he got
What?
kicked. Yeah, and he got kicked out apparently, and now he's in Chaos. And every day I bully Motisma saying, how was there a Chaos member in the Academy team, and how did you like ban him? How did that happen?
Yeah, I'll tell you one least skilled player, and
Okay.
it's I don't know if you know him, but his name is Motisma 3000.
Oh, I know him. Trust me, I know him.
Yeah.
I played him.
Now I think Motisma's gotten a little bit better, but like
The thing is
no
with
cap,
Motisma,
Motisma is a little bit abysmal to play with. No cap.
he's like a whiner. He IGLs even though he's a moron in my opinion in the game sometimes. And like the thing is, he plays on like a Mac, but not even a good Mac. He plays on like a Mac that doesn't even get 40 FPS at times. And this guy is
Oh,
like,
that's awful. Yeah.
yeah. He's telling me, oh, I'm gonna get a gaming computer. So hopefully he'll finally improve as a player, but who knows?
Yeah, he'll definitely improve.
Hopefully. So what about you, Poyman? Most killed.
I'd probably say top three. Nolan, Empress, Refuse. Nolan was really like I first teamed with him in CPFO season one and then PFRL winter. And he was the way he was playing was like very not meta, and it worked really well against like what was happening. And then obviously like his nade usage is like I'd probably say like top tier, obviously, for sure. And of course, Bryce's nade usage is just chef kiss.
Let's go.
There it is.
Yeah.
So
Oh, jeez.
when I joined comp for the first time and I joined PAS, one of the first scrims I did was against Pravda. It was on Metro, and we just all died to nades within like the first few seconds.
Yeah.
Like, what just happened to me? And why are we getting spawn trapped? Help!
Like you think you're safe until you get airstrikes. And you're like,
Also,
oh, shit.
fuck Also, fuck ghost spawns on Metro. They're garbage. I hate them.
Oh
They
yeah.
spawn in front of them.
Yeah, I'd probably say second would have to be Empress, just because like I would say Roman is like this next gen Empress in the sense of like head glitch and play that support,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, but I had never seen anyone play it as well as she did because she would be racking up like 10 KDRs in the middle of
Oh.
games, and it was just like this like crazy support. Like we'd be playing desert, and back then I was pretty bad at desert. I'd say like my play style just didn't fit in. But it was great because we just had this rock just sitting on top of Beppis going like 20-2 on a
Oh.
TDM match, and it was like, okay, sick, like we got this one
Is
bagged.
she an LMG user or?
Yeah,
Okay.
LMG user with a horrible computer and no microphone, but we
And
still
still
got the
went
job
10
done.
KDR. Okay.
Yep, hmm we were
OP.
we yeah, because it was like a she would like set us up and support us, and we try to do the same for her too, which was good. So it just worked out really well, but insanely skilled at like putting up those numbers, especially like against people who are still playing now and are considered like the top tier of players. So super insane. And then my third one would be Refuse, who is on Chroma, and then like also paired up with us for PFRO Winter and then CPFO Season 1. He was just a really good, really aggro player. He would often like take like AKM and stuff like that and just like go charging head on and bag like 3 kills and then also cap the point or whatever it may have been. So it was super fun playing with him. And he also had a really good energy that he brought to the team, which I think is key. I think is key for that.
Actually, I haven't heard about him before. Like, I heard all those names you just said, but not him. That's interesting.
Oh, and there's no bad players that play with. Like I'm a firm believer that if you got to comp, and especially like I don't mean this in an arrogant way, but like if you get to comp and we're playing on the same team, like whatever that may have been, either because someone vouched for you, you did well in a tryout, like you're not a bad player. I don't care if like you do.
Well, to be fair,
Uh,
it's not exactly saying bad player. It's more saying the worst player. So even if they're good, you could be
yeah,
less good than the next. But I get what you mean. Yeah.
like I think it really depends on the team you play on. Like I don't think some of the players on CHaOS would be doing as well if they weren't in the team they're at right now. Because I think there's like a on CHaOS. I don't know what Bryce's perspective is on this, but like it seems like it's from the outside looking in. There's you can sense the chemistry and you can definitely
Mm.
tell how much like they're thinking, but like in the game where each other's positions are and like trying to play off of each other and focused in. They have like the same mindset and how they're approaching the game, and it all complements each other really well, which helps them like do well together. But like if you just take one of those guys and you put them on a different team and just like switch things up, like they might not do individually as well. Maybe they'll do better, but like a lot depends on just the circumstances you're playing in. I think that's why people like also don't do well in PFMM sometimes because
Yeah,
if your
it
team's
lacks the
not looking
team
out for you,
Yeah, the team
yeah,
chemistry is lacking. Like I
mhm.
noticed that when like the 4 times I play PFMN, it's like not the same as playing with my past players. It's like
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
they
for
don't
sure.
know what
Mhm.
I want. They don't know what I want to do. And like I don't know what they want to do. So.
Yeah, it makes a
I
big
mean,
difference.
like to kind of like continue what Pointman was saying, like personally, when I was on Pravda, like very strong roster, but the way like that I played, it just didn't really complement the way that the whole team played. So it was kind of hard for me to do what I had to do. But once I joined Chaos, like like it was like a slight little change, but that change kind of I don't know, it just like clicked something for me, and like
You feel like 2 times the player, right?
yeah,
You
I
feel like
feel
you're
like
better.
insane right now. Like a lot of people say that I'm like top 5 right now, but you know, I like to stay humble and stuff like that. So I guess I kind of undervalue myself, but if I'm gonna be honest, I do think I'm a very like I'm probably in my prime right now.
Okay.
But I definitely like I can definitely see the Waypoint Man like what he's saying. Is how like just like the way that a team plays with each other and how they can just like kind of communicate without really being verbal about it, like being hyper aware. Like this is what like a good example is probably season 4 toes. Like I wasn't there during the time, and Pointman, if you like want to talk about it like after, but like I heard season 4 toes is like not by any means like a stacked roster, but like their team chemistry was like very insane, which is what brought them to a season win.
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't there in season 4, but
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm
the
back.
top the team was actually like it was actually brought up in conversation like this weekend. I think like we were talking about season 4 toes, and it was like the
Hmm.
same thing. Was just that like it wasn't this mentality. Like yeah, you could have a couple really good players that were definitely the people who were probably going to top frag, but you didn't need a stacked roster that like would top frag on any team that they were in. Because if you have that chemistry and like that understanding of how you want to play the game and that trust too, like knowing that like a team, if you give the call out, a teammate's gonna like get the trade for you or get the tag if you tell
Oh
them
yeah.
the information and make the right decision. If you have that trust and you like don't have breaking down in communication and like people getting heated, you got good chemistry, like that really does a lot. That can be like a 6 man. Like that can really give you like it will feel like a 65 and it gives you that momentum and can turn the tables.
Like the thing is with the team chemistry thing, it's like it's kind of a shame how the roster rules are because like you could join the team and then realize like halfway through like I'm not really vibing with these guys, and I'm not. We're just not working too well together, and it's like
Oh yeah.
you can't really switch with these rules. Even now, it's like
Hmm.
you can do it like once, and if you join the wrong team again, unlucky. But guess you have to set the season. Well, you have to play a season in a team where you're just not feeling it.
Oh yeah.
So in a way, you got lucky with how Pravda disbanded and got into chaos.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like I love the Pravda guys.
No, I'm
Like
not
they're all
saying you
my
didn't,
friends.
but yeah.
Yeah. It's just like it was mainly like the difference between like the way the teams played because chaos is a lot more like proactive at like obj, while like Pravda was mainly like kind of a TDM based team. And
Shootouts.
like
Yeah.
like I'm a heavy obj player, so like when it's just kind of like me and maybe like one other player on the team kind of just helping me out with objective, I like it's very hard to do my part, but chaos has allowed me to kind of play with more confidence, like knowing that I'm not going to be the only one like on the objective, and like it kind of relieves a lot of pressure off of me.
Okay.
So that's basically why you left.
No.
No, no, we
No.
Huh.
we left, or we all left because like just like just other issues, but
We'll never
like
get to know.
yeah, that is a secret that only probably can know.
Okay, so there's a thing I think we should start doing is your opinion on certain players. Some of them
Okay,
being hated, some of them being usually
Okay.
liked.
okay.
Okay.
Just like we did with only Forrest and Panda, because they would be the one shit talking.
Oh
So
yeah.
so let's just start right off the bat with Nolan.
Nolan is definitely you know very well known. uh I wouldn't even just say like con player. I think he's pretty well known like throughout the community. I could be wrong, but like he is definitely a very good player, and also he's a very good kind of leader in a sense because he started PFDL and PFMM, and he kind of gave
It's
me
like
that
he showed us just when he basically told us that Nolan just was shouting at the top of his lungs to cap a point. Yeah, great leader there.
but he kind of gave me, or he kind of set me up for the position that I'm in. Like I'm a director, and like I guess I own PFMM now technically, but he also kind of put in a good word for me for SCL staff. So that's also a big reason why I'm staff. But he's kind of gotten me like in positions of power. So I'm like, I think he's a pretty good guy, and like his impact and influence on the
What?
community is very strong.
Yeah, about that, it depends on who sees it because
Oh yeah, for
me,
sure.
yeah, you've seen it. You were in the VC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice guy, maybe not completely, you know?
I think
When
it
I
just
saw that
depends
kid,
on
like,
the
when
I
I
person.
saw
think the
the
thing is,
problem, let me
mods.
speak, Robot, let me speak.
Okay.
Because I've had problems with Nolan, him hating me,
Yeah.
but because it's been a while, I was like, oh, maybe we can be chill now. Maybe we can actually start having the same conversations that we first had. Because when I first spoke to Nolan, like our conversations were chill. Like I thought he was chill. He
Mm,
started, you know, being a dickhead and banning me twice in CPFO,
mm.
but also banning John because he wanted to, which kind of makes me not think he's as much of a nice guy. And still, I cannot deny the fact Nolan is really good at the game, despite him just almost sweating his balls off every game.
Maybe
Mm.
we should get him like on the podcast and call it like the therapy episode where you two talk it out.
Oh, I'd watch that.
That'd be a good episode. That's a
I
good
would
idea.
shit on him so hard.
Calm
I don't
down.
like
That's
it
not
just
how you make. That's not how therapy works. You don't go to therapy
I
to
don't
work.
care. I would shit. I would still shit talk him
Oh, that's how you
because
not. That's how you not fix the relationship, boss.
He's living in
I
your head
mean
rent free, bro.
He
I
is. He
remember
literally
I
is.
think
He literally is.
Bryce,
Every episode he
think
talks about Nolan, the
Oh
Zeno guy. I
no.
don't even know who
He's
Zeno is.
there.
oh Xeno. Oh yeah, what okay, let's say it. What do you think of Xeno? Both of you.
uh,
I don't know him, to
I
be
I don't
honest.
even know him. Like,
I personally don't like the guy, but like
Yeah, okay,
I'm
so
not
we
gonna
can
get
agree
into
on
it.
that.
is it
I
so?
Reason
haven't
why
talked to him.
I do not reason why I like to put the Canadian in front of French. You know? Just so I don't relate to
Uh,
I don't want to say retard, but this
Mm.
retard,
but
you know?
I don't want to say it, but I'll say it anyway. Okay, good job.
I mean, everyone
Right.
agrees that even if I'm hated in comp, like Zeno is more hated than me by far.
I don't think you're hated. I think you're just annoying.
I
Someone
mean,
to talk
exactly.
to
That's
every day.
exactly what I'm hated. But let me go back. Let me go back to when I was talking. So Bryce, I remember you muted me permanently for saying something racist to you. But when it comes to Nolan, what happened?
Wait, did he even say anything racist?
Yeah, he said he doesn't want to hear my fucking French accent. That he's gonna have an
That's more
aneurysm.
xenophobic than racist, but yeah, okay.
I mean, it's the xenophobic is a branch of racism, you know?
I guess.
I guess. I mean, I don't really want to get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think at the end of the day, like you're gonna like people that you like. You're gonna dislike people that you dislike. And honestly, just like don't like sweat it too much. You know, at
Good
the end of
vibes
the day,
only.
Mod
yeah,
trying to
it's not
make
really
this
that deep.
fucking podcast drama alert. Like, hello?
No, I just like okay. So most of the people don't understand this, but when I shit talk, it's just as a joke.
Okay,
Unlike Xeno, who actually is serious when he shit talks. Like when he
okay.
shit talks, he's so serious about it. Like
Man, there
what
you
he
go mentioning Zeno again. You should just marry him at
no,
this
no, no,
point.
listen,
I
I
swear to God.
no. There's a thing about meeting Xeno because when we're hated for the same reason because we both talk shit. But the thing I hate is people actually think I'm serious when I shit talk,
Well, yeah,
Okay.
even
because
though
you
most of the
always do
time
it.
I
You
just joke
never
around.
not do it. You don't hold back.
I cannot stop myself. I'm impulsive. I said it in the Panda podcast. I'm highly impulsive. So when I say something, like my brain is like, "Oh yeah, say it," instead of like thinking about it.
Oh,
I,
Bryce,
I just
before
say
the
it
podcast,
immediately.
wait. Before the podcast, I told you all the things I do for the podcast.
uh,
I'm also a PR manager, as in I tell Motisma to just not talk at times, as in please stop talking.
But I still ignore
We're
you
in
when
a
you say what you
certain,
say
what's it like
anyway.
the YouTube history project and like an invite
mhm,
only Discord with like decently big PF YouTubers.
yeah.
And Mod just started shit talking them. I was like, hello?
Oh,
I was
Yeah,
DMing him, bro, you gotta stop, and he just kept
if there's only
going.
78 subs, doesn't matter, and we'll shit talk the bigger ones anyways.
Bro, you have a mental illness, I swear to God.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, bro.
let's just move on from this drama alert segment. What teams did you guys have the most? Wait, not for Pointman because he can only answer one. Which
Oh,
team did you have
man.
the most fun in, Bryce?
Oh man.
Well, actually, you can answer Pointman as in which favorite variation of the team, so which season.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, that's a hard question. I can't really say it. I don't have a favorite, if I'm gonna be honest, because like each kind of team that I've been on was in different kind of points of I want to like I guess my life, but also just like comp in general. Like for toes, it was just like me kind of vibing with John and Ty, and then Jack for a little bit till like he got exposed for cheating. Uh, for what's it called? For Pravda, it was like it was kind of iffy because I mean I was still kind of new to the scene, so but I had like become close friends with everyone there, so it was very different from Toes because like I'm gonna admit Toes is a little bit toxic, but Pravda is kind of more like very kind hearted guy, so uh I've definitely had fun in Pravda as well. And for Chaos, it was like getting to meet Pointman and getting to actually know him. Also, kind of bringing some of the Pravda guys towards Chaos, and then also just like the team that we have right now is insane. So, like, getting to kind of like become friends with people that I kind of like saw as rivals during that time.
Mhm.
Each team that I played on was like had ups and downs, but in the end, I can't really pinpoint a favorite team. Like they're all awesome.
Wait, quick question in case I forget. Which team was better, Pravda or Chaos before you guys joined Chaos? There we
Well,
go.
I have a bias, of course, so I'm gonna have to say Pravda.
There
Like
we go.
I mean, Pravda was
that's my
pretty
opinion though.
solid, just like because Nathan is easily top tier one, like
Oh yeah,
no doubt. I can
for
see
sure.
back in season 10, probably the best Newgen like ever.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he was crushing because if it wasn't for the fact he didn't do the watch this recording, he
Hmm.
would have probably just made BMB win or something like that. If he would have joined BMB, but the thing is, they had Duskia who almost always goes double positive in PFMM. Nathan as well. Bryce, you're like I've never when I've seen you play, I don't think you've never been this good.
Oh yeah. I mean
And
that's
who
fair.
else? I mean, Jay's probably gonna be like the bottom frag of that team. Not gonna lie.
God,
Okay.
Jay's
I
actually
mean,
got it really
I
good. So like,
dislike Jay because he's always like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Why are you guys not there, bro?" All the time. Like he like in PFMM, by the way. So he tryhards in PFMM, which in my opinion is kind of sad. But
Alright, 0.7 KDR every game in
no,
PFMM.
because the thing
Oh.
is, I mean, there's a difference between PFMM trying and CP and competitive trying. If you train competitive, then okay, it's normal. You want to win. But in PFMM, who cares about if you lose like a little bit of elo? Like you lose
Don't
40
you get
elo.
banned for throwing? Like, don't you get like muted?
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean you
no,
get banned for
listen.
throwing, but like if you're if we're talking just like a bad game or playing bad, no.
No, listen. You don't throw, you just don't try. Basically, I don't know, like Forrest just trolls around all the time in PFMM and still does good.
Yeah,
And
but that's the thing. He can do that and still like
yeah. But also, like, I've heard a lot of like because War once, like, I'll be honest with you guys. At first, I thought War was bad.
worse finals.
Because in PFMM, I remember when Refinery was allowed, I killed him multiple times, and I was like, "Damn, this guy's really that good." And I thought, and then when I saw how good War actually was, and I was like, "Oh, well," and that's where I knew that nobody actually tries in PFMM, because if they did, then PFMM wouldn't be fun, because then all of the top players would just destroy everyone, and
I think
like,
I have a hot take. I think people try in PFMM and they just don't admit it.
Yeah, like
okay, I'm pretty sure that if like top players actually tried in PFM, except Nolan, because Nolan always tries even in pubs probably. But if top players actually tried in PFMM, they would probably crush everyone.
Well,
Like,
Well, I mean,
they still kind of do anyway, right? So.
yeah,
yeah,
no,
like
but they would actually stomp on people.
I mean, I have like, or until like I kind of lost it today, but like I already hit level 10, and that's like 2000 elo, right? So I guess like I mean, in competitive environment, I take it seriously. Like I don't just fuck around. I mean, there'll be
Yeah.
times like in BC where I vibe. It's not like where I have to like go full sweat. But like I don't like losing, so
Yeah, I've been
like
told,
I'm not gonna purposely throw my right.
Bryce, I've been told you are quite toxic in PFMM.
Uh I will
At
admit
certain-
I am a little bit toxic, and that is something I have to
What do
work
we
on.
expect from Toes members? Am I right?
Seriously.
That's the match. To be fair, when I'm like I come from CS and like literally I don't think I've ever had a game where someone wasn't toxic in one round. So
Oh yeah.
that kind. So I'm kind of like I get it. It's like you're being competitive,
Mhm.
sometimes being competitive, like you screaming at your teammate, "Don't be stupid" or something, will seem like toxic, but you're just trying to make them play better.
Yeah.
So
I think for me, I think it just I need to like redirect that and like kind of get my message across in like a more constructive way instead of like
I
being
watch out,
being an
bro.
asshole.
Like I used to be really toxic as well, and then I stopped being toxic. But I also got like less good at games, so I don't know. I
Uh,
watch out. Yeah.
The more
Unless,
toxic, the better you are.
yeah, unless you're
I don't know about that.
unless you're
I
Motisma
mean, if you
3000.
reach, listen, if you reach toxicity at its perfection, you become forest.
Oh lord.
Fair. Okay. So
Yeah, I mean, wasn't Nico also a little bit toxic at times?
Uh, I don't know much about Nico.
I mean, because from what I've heard, Nico was a troll.
oh,
Yeah, that's what, yeah, Panda said. Nico would get in VCs and just start screaming at the players and the people in the VCs. And look how good Nico was. Guys, if you guys want to be good, start being toxic.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
the way. That's the way.
Everyone who plays PFMM, instead of letting Bryce yell at you, you yell at him, even though you're both
No, if you do
lagging.
that, you're gonna get banned. AKA what happened with me. I
No,
mean, what?
honestly, like if I am toxic, like someone needs to tell me because you're right. And then it's like I don't want to be
Wait,
toxic, honestly.
Bryce, if you play as good as you always do, I'd just let you yell at me. I'd be like, fair.
Okay, Robo.
I'll just
it's
take
pretty
it.
much
No.
pretty much when you have like a good player and he starts shit talking you, you can't really say anything back.
Yeah.
You
Nah,
know?
I don't want to be an ass. That's not the way I need to act. So I definitely like I gotta chill out. So I understand
Yeah,
that.
that's what I didn't
Eh,
do in my
it's
dumb
good
server.
that you self-reflect on that. That's a good
Yeah.
first step. And
Like
put
I'm not the type of guy to like be like, yeah, I do nothing wrong. Like I obviously like fuck up all the time. So
definitely.
yeah.
Trick is just to be like
But
constructive with it. Like you got people sometimes, especially like the people who come in like 800 elo first game. They don't know what they're doing. It's like,
Oh
oh, just
yeah.
you just gotta like try to guide them. Don't be like, you're shit. Oh, you can't believe you missed that shot. Oh my god. Like,
Bryce, no,
what do you
just
think? What do you think's gonna be in their head the next time they try to shoot? They're gonna be like, oh my god, I hope I don't miss it. They don't see me.
I
Like,
know, I
bro,
know.
you're right.
That's probably why like I gotta like tone
If
it
you're
down,
gonna
you know?
be no, listen,
yeah.
if you're gonna be a guy called Jin Moretti,
Oh lord.
don't play PFMM. I'll tell you right now, don't play PFMM. You're just ruining the queues
No, to
because
be fair, like it's the
bro,
only
but when
way
you
to
go
play
quad
competitive.
negative, don't play. If you no even quintuple negative, don't play.
I
Like
mean, if I'm gonna be honest, like during there's a time where I played PF and I was the like the dog shit person. I was like going like triple neg. I was like getting shit talked on, but like yeah, it kind of sucked. But like, and it kind of hurt my feelings. But it was definitely a learning experience. Like, of course, not everyone's the same as me. So like, I gotta like tone down the toxicity sort of. But it's just like I definitely had to like realize that not everyone is gonna be good right off the bat. because like it took me a while to develop it, like the player
Me,
that I am.
I've always been like decent at OBJ because I've always been an OBJ player. Even in pubs,
Oh yeah.
no, listen, even in pubs, I would focus on OBJ. Like I would be like, yeah, OBJ. That's why like I've ranked up. Like I have a low amount of kills compared to my rank.
Hmm.
I have like 1.2 120,000 when most people must be like 150 just because I was focusing more on OBJ than actual kills. Which is why if someone shit talks me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, okay, but at least I can OBJ, you know? Even if I cannot click heads, I can OBJ.
I
You
feel
know?
like yeah, if you don't get kills, like you
You
definitely need to
should,
work on the OBJ play
yeah.
first.
Yeah. Or you can try doing both, you know? But
In both like
otherwise,
both in pubs and comp, when I'm having a good game, but someone is above me in points, you gotta respect them. Like
Yeah.
that. Because I'll be honest, even I, like, when I press tap and my KD is bad, I was like, okay, fuck OBJ. I'm playing kills from now on.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes that's not a good thing. Like, you should just play OBJ and win the game, in my opinion.
Hmm.
at this
So
point in
anyway,
pubs, because if you're not like I'm trying to get friends with like good players so that you know I can have a practice. Because the
Uh-huh.
majority of time in pubs, even if you like close your eyes, you can top frag.
Mhm.
You
that's
know?
true.
Because people in pubs, even like rank 100s, they are garbage. Like I've seen, I don't know how many rank 100s I've seen go negative in a public server, and I'm
Mentions,
like,
I think I have more
dude,
kills than you, actually. I think I play OBJ more than you. I just checked. Dude, I have
what do you mean?
102,000 kills. And I
102,000 kills, and
and
you're
I'm
and you
138.
you know I got 100,000 kills at like rank 180, right?
Wow.
100,000 I had that at like one
I
rank
thought you said
180.
you had 120. Oh shit, I thought you were close to me in rank.
I'm ranked 208. I have 120. In
Oh
40
wow.
rank, no, in 20 ranks, I managed to get 1,000 kills per rank almost because I just play OBJ more. I mean, less now because, you know, I was more focusing on OBJ, you know, to rank up and get 200 and to be like, okay, now I can finally stop. But even now, I sometimes go OBJ just for fun. And also it made me get 2 records, you know?
The
Hmm.
thing is with PF, like competitive PF, I feel like it's very unfriendly to people that aren't that great at first
If
pick.
you go negative, you're gonna get shit on. Even if
Yeah.
like you do good at OBJ, people are gonna be like, "Bro, you're so bad. You're going negative."
I'm lucky. I've just been playing CS for like all my teenager life, so like I can actually shoot people even when I don't know what I'm doing. So, but
Yeah,
for
that's
the
the thing
people, for the
because
people that don't, it's like I wouldn't want to be in their position trying to get
like
over
I
people.
go OBJ less because I'm like I don't like getting shit talked that much. So at one point, I
And that's
my
why you do it all the time.
no,
Okay.
no, no, Robo, it's because I get shit talked. Like when I say my player is bad, then they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, but you go double negative." So I'm like, "Bro, I'm trying to play OBJ more than kills." So now I have to focus more on my KDR and OBJ at the same time and kills. And it's getting like I cannot like focus on all of them because also I'm bad at focusing on more
Dude,
than
I'll
one.
be honest. Phantom Force is a hard game. Like, I come from like playing CS to almost semi-pro level, and like Phantom
Wow.
Force feels harder sometimes than CS.
I
It
mean, it
CS,
can
depends
be.
because Phantom Forces has more movements, you know?
I
Like
guess so, yeah.
people will EMP slide, you know?
And the thing is
Just
with
EMP slide at
CS,
you and destroy you.
it's mostly like maps that are like hallways, so you can kind of predict where they're going. While PFMM's like, well, PF, I mean, this isn't all open
Except
maps. You can
Metro
go,
and Bazaar, it's
yeah.
mostly
That's why
open.
Metro is my best map. It's
And I
easy to
mean, me
control.
and Bazaar and Metro are my two best maps. And Warehouse as well, because Warehouse I like to wallbang. Because I use ESP for sure.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah, I
dude.
am an ESP user, of course. You
Yeah.
should edit that out because I'm gonna get banned for another 3 months and one day.
If
See
you're
you,
playing
bro.
against someone and they just have like a good day, like they're just reading your style for whatever reason, I think Phantom Force is so hard to play against that
Yeah.
because they'll be nailing you on the pre-fires, the sound cues, the movement. They'll be dodging your bullets. Like if someone's just feeling your style that day, it's like the most infuriating thing. There's because there's not a lot you can do, honestly.
We
You know what I think? Like the if you want to like become probably like one of the best players, probably become an anchor player. Because like yeah, you have like those aggro players, but you don't really see a lot of anchor players, right? Like going
Yeah.
back to Empress, like she's
Yeah. There's
probably
anchor players now are so rare unless you actually tell someone to anchor. Okay, so basically last scrim, I've told one of my teammates to anchor in the back of their spawn in the spawn. He did pretty good. Like usually, okay, we call him the bench warmer of pass because
Poor
usually
banana.
he's like the worst player of the team. But he did good at anchoring because he was using hammer, and I told him stay in the back of the spawn and do not go anywhere else. Like stay in the back of the spawn. You need to give clear orders to players, or else they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm bored. I'm gonna go somewhere else." And then you just start like screaming at them so that they can stay at the spot. And then they'll be like, "Okay, okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stay at the spot."
yeah,
And
Yeah, I
anchoring is
think
like a very important role.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that. Like, I think it's absolutely correct. If you get someone who's absolutely like a natural anchor and that's what they're good at and that's their natural play style, like people don't realize that yeah, they might not top frag, they might be like middle or second to bottom frag or even bottom frag, but what it like opens up so much more freedom for the rest of the team if they just know that someone like say they're just on the right side of Metro, like say they're on Eskies. If you have a solid anchor player on Eskies, you all of a sudden don't have to worry about that side of the map. Because you know, like even if there are people coming, they're gonna get a kill, they're gonna buy you some time, give you the call out, like just delay, whatever it's gonna be. And that gives the rest of the team so much space. And ultimately it can like lead to you winning by much wider margins, even if it doesn't like translate necessarily in stats.
but
I want
also,
to
like,
agree with
the
that.
thing is, anchoring isn't very that hard if you're using like hammer, because hammer is basically an AR boosted with damage and boosted with
Don't use hammer
accuracy and
anymore, it's getting
boosted with
nerfed.
ammo. Basically, it's just an AR but better, except at close range. So if you can use a hammer, then you know how to anchor. And also anchoring is like the best thing you can ever do. Like in Metro, if you anchor back of spawn, it gives so much help because especially on King of the Hill, if someone runs to the hill, anchor if their anchor is there, shoots them
The thing
or
is with
nade.
anchoring, like it's kind of boring, so I can see why a lot of players don't even think about trying it.
It's not very flashy, yeah.
Yeah, it's
But one
like
one thing
But
also,
everyone in their heads want to be that guy that's just running around shitting on children in a video game. Like, there's
yeah,
that.
yeah,
it also requires a lot of like to do it to at least do it like a high level. Like say if you're anchoring against like a team like Gang or CHaOS, honestly, like you need to also have a lot of you need to have good positioning, good game
Yeah,
sense,
otherwise
good
you're just
make
getting
timing.
sure
aimed
you don't
out.
peek
Yeah,
too
you'll
often because most of them
even
are
good
gonna
aim.
are gonna
It
peek
won't
down.
push you. Yeah, like if you're just sitting in the back with a hammer and like you think your aim is like enough, like good players will just nade you out, or they'll
Yeah,
just
exactly.
timing peek you out, pre-fire you. So it takes a lot of other stuff to really like boost yourself up and set yourself apart from just like a guy in the back
Against
with an LMG.
not so good teams, you can get away with like sitting in one position, but against like good
Yeah,
teams, like a good anchor can like have like a limited area, but still switch its position up enough to not get
But
naded.
there's a thing about anchors. There are different spots that are more fun to anchor. Like for example, if you anchor back of spawn, you have a full view of the entire like map. So you can kill easily and your brain is always active. Unlike if you anchor like underground, it's fucking boring because there's no one there. There's if you even if you anchor purple flank, there's never gonna be anyone there anyways.
Yeah, I think the thing is like you need to know where to anchor as well, like where to position and like, cause trust me, like it
Well, I
the
mean the
more
worst
map
is
that you can control by
the
anchoring.
most useful no listen the most
Okay,
useful
okay.
anchors usually are the most boring because for example I'll say purple flank again if you anchor that it's like one of the most useful spots because then the majority of the chances of someone going in purple like if there's someone anchoring purple one purple flank the guy in purple won't have to be scared about the stairs unlike most of the time which is
Well,
extremely useful because you can hold people from nading and yeah. But
the
it's
thing
so boring anchoring purple flank.
the thing is like, I mean, yeah, like the way spawns are now, like it promotes flanking. But if I'm gonna be honest, like the guy in purple can like, if they're good enough, they can make the read, right, and realize that they're
Yeah.
coming up purple stairs. So,
Yeah,
The
or like
spot
if
that
they're
I'm good
going
on
like directly
Metro
purple
is
flank.
purple, but I always want someone with me. Because me, the spot that I hold is like a hallway and green, so that I can switch between those two. But I always, because I don't like having three spots to look at, so I always
Oh yeah.
like to have someone with me who can just watch purple stairs and also hallway while I'm not looking.
Mhm.
And just that, if you have a duo there that works most of the time, then that duo will learn how like they work better, like they will understand each other's better, and like it's gonna become a very solid duo that will do pretty good.
Like
And
So
anchor
you
also
have
has
to
to be
think of that.
intelligent too. Like they got to be able to switch it up depending on the team and like what's going on. Because if you're just like if the anchor's on one side of the map and the team is just like it sounds obvious, but like if the other team just decides like fuck it, we're not charging into an LMG in this really strong position, we're gonna focus on the other side of the map. Like that's also on the anchor to make that read too and try to like rotate so they can be as effective as possible. Because like an anchor is like one thing I like about CS, if you like look at Pro CS and how they like measure the ratings, there's also an impact rating. So you can have people with really good stats but very low impact. And an anchor's job is just to basically maximize impact the whole round, even if the stats aren't there.
Yeah, that's true because uh I have a friend who anchors, and he always like does kind of pretty good. Like he used to play comp only in the scrim, but he didn't play much. And he back then he did really good. Like he sent me screenshots, but I forgot where they are now.
Mhm.
And as an anchor, you if you have a bad KDR as an anchor, then I don't know what you do as an anchor.
Well,
Because
yeah.
like okay, according to one of my PFMM queues, when I like in desert, when I like was sniping back of spawn, I had the best KDR of the team, the second best KDR of the match. And because I just stayed back, but like I was the third frag or fourth frag. No, like I was almost bottom frag,
Mhm.
but I had the second best KDR of the entire match.
I
So
think it
it
also
was
depends on like
1.9,
team mode too. Like, KDR is important. It's definitely like it's one way to measure efficiency.
especially in TVM.
Yeah, for TD, for sure in TDM, like KDR is really really important. And having a high KDR gives your other teammates like room to like try things out, experiment, and if they make a mistake, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. But
But like
also another thing that matters is KDR. If you're positive with KDR, now it's where it doesn't always matter, because there's a difference between the KDR and the kill death difference. For example, if someone is going like 2 KD, like 1.5 KDR, someone else is going 1.3, but like one has 10 kills difference and the other has 20, you know?
Yeah.
That's the 20 who actually has a bigger impact than the 10, because 10 is only like helping from 10 kills. So that's always a thing we need to think about. If you go
like
negative, then no, there's nothing. Like,
one of the cool things about free cam, especially like now that Style has changed up their spectate for competitive, is that like you can also break apart maybe people's statistics a little bit more. So like say you have someone who went like just completely neutral and they went like, I don't know, 29 and 29. If you look at free cam all of a sudden and you see that like the enemy team was double peeking them, like double peek them 6 times, naded them out 7 times. Okay, like you can sort of get an idea of like how much impact that person was putting on the other team if they were being like forced to take certain measures against them or like how much time they were buying. Which is it's just another aspect of like how you can play a role that's not necessarily going to translate into stats. Even if they get killed, but they delayed them for like 5-10 seconds, that especially like King of the Hill, that can be key. Like if you delay them 5 seconds and now they can't get on the hill or can't deny the hill being captured, that can sometimes be enough, but you're not going to see that in stats. And I think it takes a really self-aware team to also be making that like assessment and knowing the value of their players based off that.
because sometimes, I mean, it's most of the time. Most of the kills I do are extremely useful.
Are they now?
No, listen, most of the kills I do,
Humble.
no, in King of the Hill, no, listen, in King of the Hill, most
I
of the
make
kills
the
I do
impact in the game.
are mid. Most of the kills I do are either sidebox or mid.
Okay.
If they're
Yeah. Well,
mid,
yeah. There's.
it's useful because they won't be going on the hill.
Those are important kills to get, to be fair.
They are very good kills.
Yeah.
Yes.
When we played a scrim with Mot, I did compliment him for killing them a lot of his nights. That's really important. because it does open up a lot of map space you can take.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like in King of the Hill, it's better to like kill someone at mid than in purple. You know?
Any kill is very impactful, right? But like,
Depends on where though. Like if
well,
you're
yeah,
gonna kill
some
someone like
kills are like they hold more. Of course, but like any kill is, kill's a kill, right?
yeah.
So in the long run, like it all adds up. But, like I definitely see what you mean by like sort of like clutch kills, I guess.
Like for example, if you're gonna kill someone in their spawn, it won't have the same impact as killing someone at mid, you know?
Yep.
Because if you kill them in their spawn, which I did in the scrim, I did like 3 kills there before dying. Like yes, they won't be able to get anywhere, but at the same time, it's better to like see if there's someone at mid that you can kill than killing someone in their spawn.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Spawn trapping is also it's an interesting like element to support that I don't think a lot of people talk about because I think you have to be smart with how you do it because it's got to be like just enough in their face to create pressure and try to destabilize things, but like not too committed that they just ignore you and then you become
But also
not useful.
another thing that I noticed is that most of the teams I've even passed because I did a scrim with my own team.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't a scrim. No, wasn't a scrim. It was someone else that I scrimmed against. I was in their spawn and it was so difficult for them to kill me. I don't know why, it was so difficult. And every time, even sometimes even in PFMM, when I kill
Motisma, you're
them,
just too good.
yeah, no, listen.
Bro, like
I'm
you
not
talk,
good,
you talk.
but
I like how you're talking like you get like 1.4 KDs or something now. Man
I
goes
mean,
double negative.
no, listen. The thing is, every time I'm in enemy spawn, I get like 2 to 3 streaks.
Damn, you're just better.
But otherwise, because
Is this
the thing is,
Metro Ghost though? Is this Metro Ghost?
sometimes I think to go, oh yeah, I'm gonna go in their spawn, then it's gonna do kills. And then some other times I'm like, what am I gonna do now? And then I keep dying when I think about that. So that's mostly why I die and have bad KDR. Because I just go around everywhere because I
Oh
forget
yeah,
to do things.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to
You know?
position, man. Like,
positioning is important.
yes.
Yeah.
In any game.
Proof, AZ, season 10. First round I played, 0.8 KDR. Last round, 0.2.
Yikes.
Yeah.
0.2.
We all have one of those games.
Holy.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
what happened is that it was Flurdom, and I was told to go C, but War was holding C, so War was saying, no, don't go C. And then people were saying go C, so like I was like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? And so I kept going around, dying a lot, getting just 40 assists.
Wait, was
So
this
basically
against
that's
AZ or
why I
was it
had
against
0.2.
Chaos?
Wait, you got to play with War Sparrows mods.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Chaos. That's Chaos then.
Yeah, they play with War and AZ back season 10.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, season 10. Oh, never mind.
Oh, season 10. Okay.
Yeah,
He
I
was
was
holding C from the train.
Which is a bad game, doesn't matter. 5 and 16, you know you're good.
What?
You know it.
Damn.
Matiza,
Joey?
did you know that I went 1-4 in finals?
What?
Yeah.
Which one?
1 in 14?
Yeah, in PFDL finals.
Damn.
Yeah. I
Oh,
don't let
that
it
must
affect
have
me.
been tough. Did people like
Yeah.
shit on you?
Oh yeah, I got beaten down.
Wait, who was on your team back then?
This is Spiky, John. Who else? Blue Frost, Zirfa.
Wait, John played PFDL?
Yeah, he played season 1
Oh,
and season 2
Oh.
as well.
what team?
Like Australia graded into Canada.
Oh,
Is that
I
true?
mean-
Is Australia graded into Canada?
huh? What?
Is Australia graded into Canada? Is that true?
Yes.
Damn.
The thing is, in Canada, like where I live, in summer we get 40 degrees Celsius, but in winter we get minus 30.
Minus 30.
So that's why I do not like
or minus
Canada.
30. Jesus, man.
So
That's cold, man.
So that was like a very long topic from like not even a question that's written down in this document.
We went
Come
all
on,
the
bro.
way to temperature, bro.
Pointman, I was gonna ask which variation of chaos was your most, would you have most fun with? Yeah, we're still at that question, by the way. That was like 40 minutes ago now.
Yeah,
I'll give a quick answer then. My favorite one was CPFO season 1 because we that was like back when CPFO changed the rules. Originally, it was just like if you were the top team on the leaderboard, you would win. There was no like final playoff. We were the top team on the leaderboard, so we were winning a lot. We were all having a good time. We had like a private a meme channel where just like some heinous shit was sent. Like it was horrible.
Damn.
It's still saved. Our team was so close. We had a private like porn channel too that everyone.
Oh, come on, Pointman.
We were just no. It was really good chemistry with everyone. We were laughing like most nights. Like
Wait, you guys were top team?
yeah, CPFO season 1. We were slated to win it, and then they changed the rules on us, and then we got knocked out by the quote stack team of the day. Which was
Oh,
just
Desire. Yeah.
yeah, and then
Desire is a pretty good team. If you look at the roster, they had pretty decent players, including
they were
Linus.
really good. Yeah. At the
Shout
time
out to
we were
Linus.
slated to take the win, and like it caused a little controversy because like the Desire players, a lot of them were like the tournament administrators, and we weren't because we were like we were just doing our thing.
You didn't care about winning?
On us. Well, we care about winning, but like there's not much you can do. Like when they say like we're changing the rules, you know what I mean? Like it was like shit, okay, and then we got knocked out by them because that's just how the seeding worked. Was we played them in semis.
Hold on, Robo. Let me send you the roster. It's an interest. If you look at the players, from what you've heard from the previous podcasts, you'll understand why they were.
Jesus, man. Jeez.
Just if you just
I
see
see
Zephyr,
Constantis, I see
Nopred,
Jake,
Assy,
I
God
see
status.
Nopre, I see Talk. Oh.
Nopred is one of the top 5 players in comp.
Yeah, I have a clip of him beating me through a wall that we were gonna call him out for hacks on until we saw it.
Wait, okay, wait. What do you guys think of who do you think is the best player in comp?
Oh, I want to cut in. I want to cut in real quick though, and I just want to say that like my second favorite that I just like haven't played on it personally as a player is this version of CHaOS because like
Let's go.
it's yeah because well, the thing is, like all the guys like it would be natural almost to like have me who's the team rep. I'm not playing with them, for example. I'm just like scheduling stuff, and I really don't know most of them. I know a couple of them from before.
Yo, Bryce,
Like,
do you want me to send you the reaction of
just was shut
Pointman?
the fuck up.
Pointman had a certain reaction when you were gonna be on the podcast. So this was
Bro,
the
so
reaction.
I ended.
Robo, this
yeah.
was it.
No, but
Let's
like,
talk though. Let
yeah,
my team rep talk.
Yo, no way!
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
let his team rep talk, bro.
Jeez, I don't want to devalue my team, but like they were so welcoming to me, like just playing with them in PFMM, in pubs, that kind of stuff, chilling before the matches. Like they were all super like, "Yo, how's it going, man?" Like just super welcoming, and they really didn't have to be because like I could definitely see, and I've seen teams where it's just like the 12 people are sort of clumped up, and like if you're not on the team, fuck you. And
Pointman, I don't think your team is gonna be like, "Hey, yo, fuck you, why are you here, bro?" You know?
Go schedule some scrims for us, loser.
I think
What
a
are you
big part of it is like
Bro,
the fact that you're
fucking
like
shit-ass
you're like a
team, man.
genuinely nice guy. Like
What?
Pointman's a genuinely nice guy, so like
Yeah.
I don't see why anyone would like have an issue with
okay,
like
so I used when I
issue
was
with you at all.
management back in CPFO. To be honest, I didn't know who Pointman was. But when someone was like, "Oh my god, it's Pointman," then I was like, "Oh, okay, then I'm gonna do the same." Oh my god, it's Pointman! Like I didn't even know you, and you didn't even know me, but I was just like that. Like we've
Wow.
never even spoken to each other's, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Pointman!" Yeah, I mean, I've always like tried to follow how people acted. That's always how even in real life, I'm always trying to do that so that
Damn.
I would get accepted. But
Damn.
then I just
Goddamn.
then I get too socialized. Too socialized. Like I socialized too much at one point. Now it start to get like, you know, too friendly with people. Like
Okay.
I act like everyone is my friend, literally. Even if you're not my friend, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy. Oh yeah, we're great friends.
Is Nolan
You
your
can't be friends
best
with everybody.
Oh
Sadly.
fuck
but, like,
Nolan. Fuck Nolan.
oh
Fuck
lord.
Nolan, bro.
We know Motisma's not friends with everyone.
No, not with everyone. With the people that the people who can actually, withstand my toxicity and my retardness.
Damn.
There's
Then
6
we're
people in this
I
podcast right
consider them
now, and
friends.
two of
Like,
them are Zeno and Nolan, who are just
oh no, I mean Zeno is not retarded.
just sitting there.
He's worse than that, bro.
Oh,
Zeno
hot
is
take.
another thing. Nolan's just a dickhead. I won't lie. Fucking Nolan's just a dickhead.
Okay.
Free.
I mean, he's full of himself as well. Like
Sounds like
no,
someone was
listen.
like above me in the little Discord bubble.
I mean,
Yeah.
even if he was like one of the top, now I will still disrespect him because he banned John. Then I said, "Can you unban?" I said,
No,
"Why did
we
you ban
already
John?"
told this story 4
Yeah,
times
no,
now.
I need them
Move on.
to know this.
Please.
No, listen, shut the fuck up, Robo. I need them to know this. Is that he just didn't want me to unban him. Straight
Yeah.
up. And I was like, huh, seems like a nice HR to me,
Bro, eventually, like, Motisma and Nolan are gonna end up married or something. I swear to God, like, this guy won't
Bro,
stop
no
talking
way.
about it.
No fucking way.
The
Fuck,
sexual
fuck
tension is
him,
just
bro.
building.
It's very
But
intense.
Taser, I think you actually admire Nolan the more than I think about it.
I used to admire Nolan because he was like much higher than me, like as in ranks. Like everyone who's higher than me, at one point I'm gonna be like, oh shit, I look up to him. But then now I just look down to him at this point.
Damn it. So
No,
you're better
okay,
than him.
in skill, I
So you're
still,
better than him.
but as a person, I look down to him.
Damn.
Like I wouldn't
I
just go ban someone because I want to.
well, I'm pretty sure
Well,
you had a
Except in
reason.
past,
wait,
except in past.
Uh-oh.
In
You
past,
Uh-oh.
banned
it's another story.
Raptor! You banned Raptor and Pichu for no good reason.
No,
Davan.
no, I had a reason because he tried to steal one of my players, and I'm like, no, I do not want to get my players stolen. So I said, fuck you, and get banned.
Well, that happens from time to time. Like, you try to recruit players. It's not like probably the best thing to do, but like,
Yeah,
it
not
happens.
not like the player is top frags. Okay, the player was a cheater. Pichu had an idea of like making him try out and prove that he's cheating. Became Modern LOL, if you don't know him.
Oh, modern. Oh, Lord.
Oh yeah, Modern. I was like, no, 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 you're not getting him away from me. For once, I'm gonna get a good player on SCL. Please, please. So then I just banned him so that he couldn't like actually affect.
Damn.
And I was like, bro, Modern, don't switch teams.
Modern,
But it's
please.
when I knew Modern was cheating, I was like, all right, I'm a head out. And I unbanned Pichu, by the way.
No,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
unbanned Pichu.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought I did.
I love Robo being here.
Jesus, man. Also,
I think Robo is like the glue to the.
Robo is basically
sure.
like, I'm like the child, and Robo is the one that's trying to make me not like go off. He's trying to control me. I'm
Not
like
control.
the
He's just trying to
fucking
like keep you in check, Mike.
yeah. Robo is basically just the elder of the team. Like
He's like
he
he's the father
watches so
figure,
that
bro.
I don't do too much dumb shit, but at the same time, like there's me who's just like, oh, time to go off on him. Fuck you. You know? So, I mean, it's two perspectives. Like me, the retard, and Robo, like the mature guy.
I was just thinking about when you said you went to that Discord chat of YouTubers and you started like shit talking people. It's
No,
like going into
okay,
prison.
listen, I shit
No, no,
talked
no, 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 no.
corny. It
It's like
was corny.
you're going to jail and you're like, I'm gonna make the biggest guy here my bitch. And you start shit talking.
Yeah, bro.
And
That's
he
totally
just fucking kills you.
Bro, I mean, it was corny, so I was like, bro, okay, so a thing why I went off on him is that he said I would not, I'm too egotistical to allow me to get beaten by Seagull, aka some guy PF. So I was like, bro, and then I started going off on him.
For no good. That's no actual good reason, by the way. Like, like I always tell you this. You'd literally be better off if you just didn't talk. Like,
I do. I
Yeah,
have to
but the
agree. You
thing
have to
is,
know
I
when.
just love talking, and I shit, and like I go up on people as a joke, and I have fun. Like I have fun doing that because people don't have fun because they think I'm like super. I'm like, oh, bro, you fucking idiot. I'm actually gonna be so mad right now, bro. Fuck you. You're bad. You're bad at the game. Stop. No, I'm actually like, oh, you're so shit. Lol, 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 lol. And people don't get that.
That's not a good thing, though.
No, it's just people don't get the difference between like trolling and being serious. Like if I was serious, I would actually just like say fuck you and stuff like that. Like your
Oh, no,
actual
do
shit,
you
kill
not do
yourself.
that?
I would say that.
What?
No, okay, you maybe not put that in.
Yeah,
But no, I'm not like the kind of guy who would just be like, oh yo, and things like that. I'm
okay.
more the kind of guy who's just like, oh, your shit. And always repeat the same thing. Always say dumb shit just,
Okay.
just because it's funny. That's the kind of guy I am, but people don't understand that and they think I'm serious and get mad at
And
me.
and people wonder why Pass has a bad rap.
A bad reputation? Oh, I mean, Robo, didn't you all don't you also shit talk as well?
I mean, yeah, of course, there's always
It's
gonna
my
be
fault,
Oh
okay?
wait,
I'm
there's
wait,
not
always
a
gonna
wait.
be
beaut,
shit
it's my
talk.
fault.
No,
My
no, no.
influence is so
Literally,
big.
the only time I shit talked in public when I was drunk and I was reading SEL chat. That's the only time.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah,
there's always gonna be like that shit talk, but that's like it's banner. But like Matisse, I think the point that everyone's getting at is like you do it a lot.
yeah,
Bit too much.
but I'm trying to control myself. I do it. The only time I do it now is when someone talks and I'm like, "Who are you?"
Oh lord. But
I always
Matisse,
do that just in
do you
Twitch
know?
chat. I'm just like,
Do you
"Who
know
are
that?
you?"
Do you know the Asteridia guy?
What?
Do you know who the Asteridia guy in PFMM was?
Wait, who?
Like the guy who was shit talking in PFMM. Do you
Oh
remember that?
yeah?
That was me.
Huh? Oh, the guy who went like 60 kills?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh,
Wait, what
oh, I
happened?
see.
Yeah, he called me. Dude, he called me a no name. I was like,
I mean, you won in all, so to be
yeah.
fair, I thought I didn't. If you were like called Surantero or something like that, I would be like,
Mhm.
"Hey, yo, hello, Bryce." But you didn't like your names. Like I remember you had Hoshiguma, and now you have Surantero,
Uh
and you had a name that wasn't like fucking Japanese sounding at all. And I
huh.
was
A
like,
serious no exam.
and then I was like, huh, who the fuck is that?
I swear this podcast has become actual therapy for Mod to understand he should probably not shit talk as much.
I
See,
agree.
to be
Hey,
honest,
bro.
I like from the podcast, I actually learn stuff. Like I'm trying to, like from, for example,
Oh
Lionel.
yeah, learn how to write questions
No,
before
learn
before
how
the
to
the
like
thing.
act as a team, right? Like learn how to do like how do you say this?
I like how you're
Team
telling me
synergy,
this after you shit talk Nolan, Zeno, in this who else in this podcast?
Spikey.
Oh
Wait, no,
lord.
yeah, not in this episode. You've not shit talked a lot in this episode.
I mean, if you want good examples of good team reps, look at like Pointman. Look at Zach. Right.
Yeah, I
Very
know. Zach
very
told me a
experienced
lot, and I
guys.
was
Very
like,
humble
oh,
guys.
maybe I
Right.
should be like that. But the thing is, as I said, I'm impulsive, ADHD. So like at the same time, I'm like,
Uh huh.
so okay, so this is how I think in my head all the time. This is how my head goes. So I don't have the time to like relax and actually think.
Oh yeah,
I'm
for
too
sure.
like hyper right now. Like even right now, I'm too hyper, and like it's only when I chill down that I'm like, okay, I'm chill now.
It's actually funny how that he has HDHD and I have the thing that's the exact opposite of
Oh lord.
HDHD. So we're like yin and yang almost, Mod.
Yeah,
Seriously, like.
that's what I said, Robo. It's me who's the retard kid, and you the mature elderly.
Okay, yin and yang is a bit more, friendly, PG-13.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, Yang Yang is basically like the opposites. So like you're the
so
opposite of me.
so before this becomes guest starring Motisma instead of Bryce
Yeah,
and Pointman.
Motisma's podcast.
What do you guys do outside of PF? Like PF, work, studying, other games, hobbies,
Uh,
e-dating?
I mean, I like. Well, I'm a student, of course. So like, uh, I just do that. Really, I play tennis from time to time.
Okay,
I actually like got really good at tennis my senior year of high school. But
okay.
other than that, I'm kind of a boring guy. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, except Forrest saying he has a schedule. Oh
Did you
fuck.
guys
Oh
watch
boy.
the episode? Because we're not gonna repeat it.
I
I
mean,
didn't see
you
that
can
part.
I can repeat it, but you're just gonna cut it out.
No, we don't have to. Move on. What about your
Okay.
appointment?
I'm a student too. College though, so normally, like right now, I've had a lot more time over the break to get involved with things and play more PF. So that's a bit why I'm more active. I'll also do fencing too. That's like my primary sport, which I've been
Oh,
doing for,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, I've been doing that for like 10 years now. Also on the platform, but not PF. I'm also developing a game. I'm like coding it up, so I feel for the stylus devs. It kind of sucks, but it's also really fun at the same time. And then yeah, just preparing in the sense of like preparing myself to be an adult because when you're a college student, you're not really an adult. So like just trying new things, learning, having an open mindset, meeting new people, that kind of stuff, being social.
If you guys don't mind, how old are you two?
I'm 19.
I'm 20.
Jeez, 20.
Yeah.
Whenever I talk to you, Poim, you feel like 25, you know?
Yeah, Bryce feels like more like 17, 16, you know? I don't know.
But,
There's a difference, like, to be honest, between Bryce and Pointman. There's 1 year difference, but it feels like it's 10. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, Pointman's a lot more mature than me. I'm kind of immature for my age. I'm
nah,
not even gonna lie.
you're pretty mature as well.
Oh,
Bro.
yeah,
Like, don't undersell yourself.
about
Like,
I mean,
that,
compared to Motisma,
I can be mature, but like at moments I can be like,
yeah, you know, you're not 20 yet. You know, you have time.
yeah, I
Time
got
to
time
catch
to
up.
yeah,
like.
you have a year to change, you know? But also
But
another thing about like before, like Robo asked another question. Literally, the point of a podcast, Robo, you've told me this 5 million times, is to just like talk. It's not like it's supposed to be an interview. You told me
Yeah.
this so many times. Now I'm the one telling this to you.
the thing is, like, with how we've been doing it, I feel like it's a podcast by name, but it's more like a chill interview at the end
Yeah,
of
it is.
Oh yeah. I mean, of course you want to have like the kind of questions and stuff, I guess, but like
it. We're
it,
not like, I'm aware we're not like extremely professional or like good at this because like I've never done anything like this. Like,
I think
Me
you guys are doing a
neither.
great job, honestly.
Yeah, you guys are
Like,
doing good. This is a
Yeah.
lot better than I thought it would be, honestly.
yeah. Like
Well,
of course
great
the end up meeting is a
expectations,
little
I
bit more
guess.
tense, but like as time went on, it got a little bit more actual like conversation.
yeah, that
And the thing
Sure.
is, this is a joke. Like this was supposed to be a joke. Like Robo, like it was I think in a scrim. Like we were all in the VC and Robo just said, "Bro, we should do a podcast." And I was like, "Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, sure." But Robo said it as a joke, and me, I took it seriously. I mean, I took it as a joke as well, but I was like, "Oh yeah, let's actually do this. Like a good
Yeah.
idea."
Have a
So
good setup. I wouldn't be surprised if like as you host more and more people and like this becomes more a regular thing. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like you'll see people like stylus admins be like willing to sit down and talk for
dude,
sure.
I really want to do recipe. I really want to do recipe
Raspy
at some
said,
point.
I actually DM'd Raspy. He said no, and Lionel told me that No, no, no. Listen, it's because Raspy isn't very much of a social guy.
Well,
Okay.
also the thing is you have to like also work on the like the public image, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
to
you
become
can't be
bigger
shit
because
talking everyone about
78
your bro.
subs, 78 subs isn't, biggest channel out there, you know?
Well, you've got to think about we started a month ago. That's not bad
And
at
he
all.
started with
No,
like
we didn't even start a month ago. It was less than that, and we're
Yeah.
still at 78 subs, and we've just reached 200 views on one video. And like, I remember our first video, our
You also
first
gotta
100
you
views.
also gotta think this is like podcasts in general are pretty niche. Like especially in like a young audience. Like I don't think you ever heard a 13-year-old. Yeah, that's my favorite podcast. But
So
we're,
we're
we're
trying
doing
to like keep
we're
it up,
doing a
like,
niche thing within a niche thing, which is comp.
oh yeah.
So
but also like what I'm trying to get is like people who are like well known as well, so that we get more clout, but also people who are like their voice is like more active. You know,
Okay.
I don't want to shit talk, but Lucky's video is like our only one that doesn't have 100 views, and our less watched like watch time
least
average is our lowest, lowest. I'm gonna say that, and like because I don't want to be mean to Lucky because I'm his admin and we're great friends. But like he was talking almost always like this the entire time, so it was a monotone voice, didn't
Oh yeah.
change at all. Unlike us, which is why I wanted to do a podcast because I talk a lot. I love to talk, but also
sadly.
like I'm also loud. Like I find myself loud because my tone of voice is always too high. It's better than too low because if you're always like this and like you're not very loud, people are gonna be like, "Fuck, this is boring as shit."
Oh
And
yeah,
like
From
if like your tone of voice is like high and loud, like the brain will be more active
I
and
agree.
instead of just like basically
to
sleep.
me, to me, the podcast is more of a way to like, because like I'm a new gen, it's like holy shit, there's like a lot
Yeah.
of history to this game because like
Oh
people
yeah,
like
for sure, man.
Because Pointman here is like playing for 5 years, like the boomer he
Mhm.
is,
Oh, aren't you the same age
and
though?
I said this like in the thing, it's like for it's cool that new gens like me get to know stuff about that through this
Yeah.
podcast. That's
Also
Oh
always a
yeah,
good
man.
because
thing.
I think I also wanted that why this podcast works so well is because for a new gen, I know way too many people. Like for a season 10
All
player,
right, buddy, you're great.
no,
I get
listen,
it. Let's
Robo,
move on.
Robo, you're not the one who literally talks to FPS and spirals. Okay, you're not the one who's gonna be like, "Hey, FPS, get on my podcast," and when you never spoke to him, you know?
Well,
Bro,
if I want to
you
be
know,
honest, I think Robo is a very good.
Good what?
you
he's
like that,
very
Bryce?
he's very like opposite of you in the way like where he's very calm and collected,
Yeah, but
and
the
like
thing
he
is, I
actually seems
talk
very
to
interested.
people more than him. Like he he was
Oh
like,
brother.
yeah, no, don't ask
Okay, you
God
know what? You
status.
know what?
He
Oh
told me,
brother.
listen, Robo, shh. You literally told me, do not ask God status. And I asked him anyways, you know?
But no, but here's the thing. You
You
asked
were
him and he said
scared,
no.
bro.
You asked him, but he said no. I asked him and he said yes. That's all I'm
Yeah,
gonna say.
because you
Yeah.
listen, the argument you said was because of the Oscar and Spirals one.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
if you wouldn't have said that, he probably would have said no as well.
Probably.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I think Robo is a very like good guy to talk to. Like from like my just from this talk or this podcast, like, this recording session, it's just like I don't even know the guy, and like I feel like he's very like respectful and stuff like that, and like I could definitely like see like I think it's a good choice for him to be a co-host. So like you did a good job with that, Matisma.
Thank you.
But oh,
Yep, no problem.
also, why I wanted to be main host because I'm always here and because I do not have access to comp. It's my way to make people still think I'm here. You know, it's
Like,
a way to
Yes,
make them
guys,
like,
don't
fuck,
forget about
we
Matisma,
couldn't get
guys,
rid of him.
on
You
Motisma.
know?
and Matisma we trust,
Oh, what?
and Matisma we trust.
In Motisma we
Yes,
trust.
True.
because they think they could get rid of me.
They
Nah,
couldn't.
in
They
your
couldn't get rid of
dream.
you in their dreams.
I am inevitable.
He's invincible,
Even
dude.
Ken dude wish he wouldn't think of me every night. But
Oh my
it's too
god.
late. No, because Ken dude is the one who got me banned. But I also stole one of his players.
OMG.
And I'm also
G.
always there now. He's gonna be
Bryce,
like,
Bryce, have
no,
you,
What's up?
Bryce, have you played with G4X?
I
The
have.
new gen?
he's
He's
I
really
so
have.
good.
good.
He's
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 so
pretty
pro-
good. He's pretty
no.
good.
he's probably
I'm
like a
watching.
new Nathan, like
I've
except a
never.
little less
I've
good.
played with so many good players like in CS, but I've never seen aim so smooth as this. It's like butter, you know. Like that's the best way
He
to
plays
describe it.
he plays passive or like he plays like off angles, which is weird. You don't really see that in this game at least.
No, he has different playstyles. I've seen him anchor and I've seen him push.
Yeah. I've seen him anchor. Like he's definitely a good anchor player.
Dude, I think like if he keeps playing the game, I think he'll be like a really good player. Like
Plus,
I think
it's
so.
his first season in comp, which no one could ever guess. Just like Nathan, no one could have ever guessed it's his first season in comp.
well, you can
And
kind of guess seeing what team he was in, but you know, like, that's all I'm gonna
yeah,
say.
no. I mean, Nathan started. Wait, where did Nathan start? I know he was in Impreza, aka Xenos team. He was carrying them because another thing about the AZ match, we won the first round. Nathan joins 2-1. He
Damn.
just made them win twice in a row when we were winning. So okay, listen, when you have top players, if you don't have them, the game can be completely different. Just like
Oh
back in season
yeah.
5, Toes against SBR.
I mean, just like CHaOS versus Cartel, where the top players didn't play for one map.
Then
There
no,
was
but like
there was a
no,
lot going on there.
the
Is
biggest
what I'm
one,
saying.
Yeah.
It was more than just that.
I
the
know.
biggest example is SBR against Toes in season 5. Because when Nopridge was there, Toes was winning. But then Nopridge went to work and they lost. You see? So as long as you have a top player on your team, you have a lot of chances to do really good.
Yeah,
Like
even
Forest,
with
we had
even
Forest. Like when we had Forest, SG like was one of the top teams. We beat SG because of Forest. Without Forest, we definitely would have lost. No doubt. So there's always this kind of thinking, like Nolan, which always stacks his teams because he finds it funny. Like this is why I always wanted a rule where you can only have a maximum amount of tier ones. And like
That
that's what happened in season
I think they
6.
implemented that. Yeah,
No, they
but it
didn't.
didn't really work out.
Season 11 they didn't. I asked for it. It didn't go through and I was like, buddy.
I don't
Everyone like
know.
okay, so what I asked was everyone with over an 80 rating is tier 1. So there should only be like maximum like 2 or 3 because now there's so many tier 1s right now that there should only be a certain amount per teams so that it can be fair and fun because it's not fun when you get like it's okay right now in major it probably is either 2-0 or 0 and 2.
I think they do a good job with it now with the major and minor like differentiation. Because like yeah, in
Yes,
qualifiers
that's very
usually
good except pass because like right now we're gonna just dick on everyone but
but like
that's
that's just
their
cost
fault. That's
within
their
one
no.
count.
Listen, that's not our fault. We're in minors. That's their fault for letting us in minors. It
I
was
mean,
a mistake.
Same with
I
TM to
think
be fair. So
I mean,
there have been
TM.
a lot of like upsets already. Like no one thought that, or people thought that Cartel wasn't gonna beat Nuts, right? And then also people didn't think like Noble was gonna
FBR.
beat AZ. So
Also, the
like,
FBR results are pretty
Bro,
mentioned. So
FBR, bro. It's
FPR
Brazil.
showed
Brazil are
consistency
just better,
too,
I guess. You
oh
know,
yeah.
the
but no one
Brazilians are
saw
just
that
so
coming
different.
for sure.
Hmm.
But imagine a Korean team. Just
I've
think
been
about
seeing a
it.
lot more Korean players. I was talking about this actually, I think last night in SCL General, but like I've seen a lot more Korean players. I think it'd be really cool if we start seeing some Korean teams start integrating the scene. Because like right
Do you
I
now,
guys
know.
know about Neo Ninja?
that's my one caveat is I don't know how many existing Korean players there are now, but like it's you don't really have. I don't think you have any primarily like Korean only
No,
teams. I
listen,
think that'd
Neo
be
Ninja has a YouTube channel. He did 2 videos on PF, and if he was playing comp, he would probably be the best comp player in history. He has no. Listen, he can control stock Glock 17 to be a laser.
Just build it, I guess. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Glock 18. My bad. To make it a laser by controlling it. Also, it has perfect flicks. It looks like he's cheating. I thought it was just clips of someone cheating in Phantom Forces.
Well,
It
apparently
wasn't.
he does like edit his clips to like cut frames.
Okay.
No, but sometimes it's like long clips, and he does fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean I agree
But
with that.
like,
Like
if he was playing comp, he would be absolutely dicking on everyone, to be honest.
I don't know. Like maybe like good game's good, but like you can't just have aim no brain. Because like we were talking
yeah,
about like what we were talking about support, like the difference between like a tier two, tier three versus tier one support player is you gotta have that game sense and knowledge, and that takes honestly like a while to build up and honestly some mentorship and a good team around you. Because like you can have great aim and just get naded out of oblivion and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he was aiming with, an auto. So that's the difference. I mean, I don't think anyone else could be like as like comparable to him because the if I know one player who can like control Glock 18 recoil to make it actually like perfect aim, that player
To be fair, having like the thing is of having like really good mechanical skill, it's like it doesn't always translate into doing well in
Okay,
competitive or
listen,
any
yeah.
if
game.
okay, basically the main part, if you're a good player, the majority, like 60, no, even 60, even 70% of all of all skill or of like your tier is aim and that like aim and things like that and movement. I mean,
Mm.
no, mostly aim is like 60%, movement is like 10. If you know how to do those, like you're already probably like tier 2 on
I
easy.
think I think movement is way more than that, in personally.
No, no, no. If you look at Andre is like almost only movement. And if you see Forest is only aim. And like you see both are extremely good because I mean Andre does have aim, not as much as Forest.
Playstyle. It depends on your playstyle.
Yeah, and Andre is like a monkey, basically.
Why
Like
did Joe just join in for no good reason? Okay, Joe Wilburn, I see you. Fine.
I actually have to go, so it's a good thing I know Joey's here because I want to eat, you know?
Well, what time is it for you right now? I never know the time.
6:10.
Oh, okay.
And you know, I'm supposed to eat at 5:30.
Wow.
Strict parents.
You
You're a
know,
rebel.
I'm wasting my life onto this podcast. This is how much I'm dedicated to
Is
this.
it wasting or is it
What?
is it wasting or is it investing time?
Yeah, it's investing.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Because technically, if we get big enough, which I'm okay. Listen, I'm 90% sure it will never reach that. But if we manage to actually reach a certain point where we could get monetized, then that means it wouldn't be wasted because we would get paid for that. You
I
know?
feel like just from a community perspective, it's worth it. Like just to have these videos, even when even when Fandom Forces is completely dead, it'd be cool for like, I don't know, old man Pointman to come back to his fit and be like, oh, shit.
Can you carry?
That's how
Can,
things
can
were.
you like, take my place now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, guys.
The other thing is like these podcast episodes are gonna be listened to by people like, and they're gonna be listened to in 6 months. They're gonna be listened to in like a year when someone's just like looking up a player they bumped into in a public match and trying to get more invested in comp. And this is gonna show that there's like a lot of depth to the scene when they just see these like so many podcasts with these people they know. So I think they're definitely a good thing.
Definitely.
Like you guys are doing a like really good job with this, especially getting like big name guys out here. Like that's
I
Yeah.
don't know how Mod pulled that off. I still like look at the names like, how do we do one with Oscar and Spirals in the same episode?
well, honestly, I think I think like your presence is also like helpful because like honestly, if it were just Motisma, it would be a little bit overwhelming. So like you kind of like bring the balance, you know. It's not too like
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a good
like just
dynamic.
like yeah.
I do sometimes feel like his virtual dad is in like telling him not to do stuff, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, man. There's always like a father figure, bro. Like in
Because,
every like team.
Because like he's 5 years younger than me. When I was like 5 years, like when I was 15, I was also a massive moron. So I kind of
Yeah.
well, people like brush Mott off as like an idiot, you know, toxic retard stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I just seem like as like a kid who just doesn't know better, you know. That's
Yeah,
how I
of
feel.
course.
Yeah.
And with age, it's gonna get like it's probably gonna get better, but like for now, yeah, he is gonna be that kid that's just like
He needs a long learning path, like,
Oh, yeah.
long path to learn. But you know,
and he'll learn with time.
eventually, he'll learn. He'll learn. As long as he isn't like going too much of the shit talking, I'm fine with it. So, if there's anything else you guys like feel like talking about, just say, by the way.
Join PFMM, guys.
Yeah, if PFMM like it's sort of at a point where like you'll get these like 16, 18 person queues. If PFMM could get to the point where like there's 2 consecutive queues going at peak activity times, that'd be really cool because it'd also give like more ability potentially for like you to like you know how there's pro queue and regular queue, like
Yeah.
you could create a little more separation within the queues, and that might lead to like some people
And
who
also,
are
if more Europeans play, there's more time for me to play because I legit can't make like 95% of queues. That's why I've played like 4 or 5 games so far.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it would help with people who are like just coming in trying to get better if they're not getting like smacked on by Bryce over here with 2000 elo. Because it's the only queue up. But yeah.
It'd be cool, yeah, if like the thing is with like PFMM, like because of their like the little amount of players, like lesser good players who have to play with people like Bryce, for example.
Oh yeah.
And it'd be ideal if it's like, you know, like any other game where it's like a rank system. So like the elo's kind of that, but not really. But imagine
Yeah, it's a little bit scuffed.
yeah,
No cap.
imagine if like the low elo people can like play against each other, you know, instead of having
Yep.
Instead of having, getting their shit slapped around by Bryce over here, try harding a PFMM SMH.
I think it's like like sort of like a face it,
Yeah, some
Yeah,
form
for
of
sure.
face it, yeah.
But there's not really a good way to do that with the bot that we have. So
Yeah, that's the problem as well. You kind of have to like do it manually, like saying, okay, low elo people come,
the
Yeah.
only thing is like team captains. That's about it.
And
Captains is like interesting, but there's like sometimes when people don't pick good teams, like oh she should.
Yeah,
Like
it's just like
there was one time it was like I think it was Bryce, like you told the dude because you were captains. I forget who it was, but like it basically allowed. I think it was like you, me, Roman, and Drac all on like one team,
yeah.
and it just
and the other team had like some shitter on it or something, and like totally.
like on paper it looked like pretty balanced, like when you looked at the elo calculations, but just it was
But
very one-sided.
by namesake, it probably wasn't. I assume.
Oh yeah, for sure. It definitely wasn't balanced.
Yeah.
And like with regular like balancing that the bot does, it's very unbalanced because like since I have the high elo, right? There's a big elo disparity, so I always get like kind of like the newer guys, right?
Yeah.
Which is I guess which like contributes to like why I'm a little. I just get tired of like playing against like the top players, while like it's just pretty much just
While
me
you get
carrying.
dragged down, yeah, I get that.
But people are gonna learn about the game more, so like I have to realize that as well.
You can't be too harsh on them. At the same
Oh yeah,
time.
for sure.
Yeah.
Especially since Stylus, like I saw it was on the in-game message, like yeah, last night I think while I was in a pub, it was like join SCL or competitive league. I was like, oh sheesh, validity, let's go! Like little plug right there. So I think it's like more people are hearing about competitive and are actually like, oh, I can get better at this, and there's like legitimate avenues for competition and for that skill to actually like be translated into something. Then like just it'll be slow, but like PFMM will grow and grow and more people get involved, which is good.
Oh yeah.
What's up with not being able to like send links of PFMM in SEO though? What's up with
They just don't promote any advertising at all.
that? Okay, not
So
I feel
it's
like PFM would help a lot of these players in SEO. Because like
yeah,
G4X, who
it
I
could.
consider good, the only reason he started playing PFM because I told him it was a thing. And he didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
like
So,
if people are interested about matchmaking, they can always like ask, but like a lot of players they don't. I want to say they don't really care. They just don't know like where to start.
Yeah.
When I used to play a lot, it wasn't PFMM, but there was another version of matchmaking. To be honest, I never played it. It just like wasn't my thing either. So I know for some people, it just doesn't vibe with them.
It's also for like new players. It's like what's it called? Like it's like an English word, something with ladders or something. Like you're scared of like trying to join a elo kind of system because you don't want to see your elo drop down to 500, for example.
Like snakes and ladders, or like a game.
I don't
Or-
know. It's like a saying. I
Okay.
completely forgot it. So whatever. Doesn't Peach
Okay,
have
okay.
like
I understand
600 elo,
that.
by the way?
Yeah, he has like. See, that's the thing, right? You can get like fucked by
Yeah.
bad teams,
But to be
and you'll have
fair,
an elo that doesn't really display like. your skill.
Even if I were to do shit, like it wouldn't really care because like numbers are numbers. You just play to improve,
Mhm.
and at the end of the day. But
Oh yeah, I gotta realize that as well.
yeah, because
Like
I think
honestly,
like
I'm
a
just
big
happy,
number.
I'm happy to play at a high level. I don't really care if I win or lose. Like especially when there's no stakes on it. Like we're just playing to play essentially. Like
Oh yeah.
yeah, if we win, like that's I love winning. Like I'm competitive, but at the same time, like if I'm having a
Oh,
fun
yeah.
time and my teammates give me call outs and like we at least have some good chemistry, we can lose by like 50 kills. But if we got good chems, like I'm just happy to like spend that 50 minutes with them.
Oh yeah, dude. Like Pointman will be like, when I make a good call, he'll be like, dude, Bryce, thank you for. Like when he thanks me, I'm just. It just hypes me up to like keep doing better. So like.
Oh yeah, and like
Yeah,
That's
dude,
why.
and then I don't get killed by the dude who like just nailed you behind the box and is like coming for my ass. Like, you know, you get killed by someone, you're like, dude, like why'd you tell me he was there? You just got like 3 kills, and you're like, oh, one behind the box. You're like, no shit, of course.
Yeah. Now.
yeah, hopefully more people
Oh
play
boy.
PFMM so that EUQs aren't that, so I can play them.
Well, I try to host like around noon.
Yeah, no,
my
I've
time.
seen
So like.
you, but the thing is, like, even then, like, sometimes I'm busy because like I'm either editing this podcast, trying to get a scrim on, or I'm studying.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Have you thought about trying to be like a match organizer? I don't know the process for that, but like
Oh,
that could help with getting more EU.
dude, I do like one per week, like with how much time I have left, like free time. Like
That's fair. That's fair.
a lot of my free time goes into SEL now because I'm the team rep trying to scrim. And then you're like, you scrim against these minor people, and you're like, okay, it's time. And it's like one guy shows up, and the other team is like, you do, and it's like, it's hard not to be like Motisma and turn really toxic at that moment, but you know, you gotta hold it yourself. You gotta hold it for
Yeah,
yourself.
I will say that's like one thing with the newer teams is like they need to work on their scheduling a little bit
Oh,
because it's like hard to
definitely.
communicate and like that's like it's the toughest thing because like I don't think they realize like there's so much they can get out of like if a new team playing a more experienced team, the new team will get more out of it,
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. Like, same
So
with
it's really to their benefit
same when minor
when it
teams
comes.
scrim pass. Like we have all, no, I wouldn't call them all gens, but like people who played previous seasons, like Snow
Yeah.
Boom Junior and Gio, you can like learn a lot playing against us. And I feel like the
For sure.
teams that have played against us like consistently minor, like they've improved. So, but like, yeah, it's like that team called Dino Nuggies. I tried to scrim them, and then the team rep told me what's SEL, and I was like, what? So yeah, that's like the experience, like trying to scrim lower teams, but. That's my fault for not for sometimes I'll be honest. Sometimes I'm like I don't want to get my ego ruined, so I don't want to scrim like a CHaOS or even an AZ sometimes. So I'm like I'm not gonna scrim them, but I try to.
It's tough 'cause you gotta like you also gotta be strategic with it too. Like if you're a good TDM team, for example, you probably don't want to play like a good TDM team. Like if that's not something you're trying to actively like improve upon. Like I know for us, like there's a couple modes that we're trying to work on. So as soon as we can get like the match this week scheduled out, and like just get that squared away, I'm gonna try to set up a scrim, hopefully with like a team that's better at those modes. We can try to improve ourselves, you know.
What's your next matchup again? I don't really
We
know.
face the winner of Cartel and Nuts, so we're right now we're waiting on them to see how they schedule, and then we'll. I think they're trying to have us do it the day after so that they can stream it because it'll be the top of the group. But at the same time, like we might just play them right after, just depending on how scheduling
That's
works
the
out.
one thing that's like sad about not being a major, like because like the original thing was like it was like top 10 teams were to make it or something.
Oh yeah. Top
And then
16, yeah.
and then now it's 8. So it got so the the two teams that dropped off were TM and Pass because of that.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
like the one thing I'd like because I feel like whenever I did scrim or even match up against like a major level team, like it's so easy to just scrim them. Like it's just okay, we can do these times. And then with
Oh
minor
yeah.
teams, like the current team we're trying to scrim is like they're just so not like they're not answering me at all. It's like okay, I've shown you the times we can play it. Like we did like a little poll, and like I still haven't got a message from them in 3 days, and everyone's saying, "Yay, a free win!" Because they'll probably have to forfeit at some point if they don't answer soon. But
Yeah, I feel like that would just make the season bland.
yeah,
Just
but
like not
that's
being able to.
me. I just want to play.
I know.
Like
Like if you're investing your time and stuff,
yeah.
and you just don't get the opportunity to play, it's like
Even if that were
it
to
sucks.
mean we could potentially lose, I don't care. Like I just want to play the game, you know. So,
Yeah.
and not that we'd lose against this team, but you know,
hmm
in case we do.
It's always good to be confident, you know.
For sure, for sure.
Like I'm always confident in every match that I go into.
Yeah, yeah. If
You
you
just always
go
have to play.
if you go into every match you're gonna thinking you're gonna lose, you're not gonna win anything. I think.
Oh yeah.
So.
True. I think some people push it too far though. They start like shit
Yeah.
talking. They're like, "Oh, this team sucks," and like say the team like I don't know, just does pulls a map up on you, and now you're down 0-1. All of a sudden, you're like, "Shit, I thought
Oh
they were like bad. Like we were
Oh
saying all this
yeah.
stuff. Now I don't want to eat my words, and like this like this mental side of it going on."
Should never underestimate your opponent in anything because if once you
oh
do
yeah.
and they surprise you, you basically lost from that point on unless they mess
For
up.
sure.
Yeah. That's with anything. Could be real sports, could be esports, etc. But
hmm
No,
Like
absolutely.
I
That's
know.
like
Go.
oh, go on. No.
All right. So like I know like in tennis, it's this freshman that I played against my senior year. Like the first time I played him, I was like, it was pretty easy. So I came in with that mindset, like it's gonna be a piece. But like he almost beat me. Oh shit! So like, you always have to be prepared, for an upset.
It's basically what happened with us against bots. Like in scrims, we've beat bots so many times, and it's not even been close once. But then in the actual match, they practiced Hardpoint on elevation a lot, and that's
Okay.
what they picked. Dude, we almost lost
Oh,
against a team we should never
jeez.
lose. Yeah, it's like,
Mhm.
and it's after the game, like they did like the POV thingy on the SEO thing. You just hear me say like a really defeated GG, even though we won, because I was like, how do we even smash them?
Yeah.
But yeah, so never underestimate your opponent, even if you think you beat them.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's always other people on the other side. Like they're not bots. Like you got smart people who might be popping off, like just have a good read, good intuition, that
Yeah,
kind of
they could
stuff.
have a really good day while you have a bad day as well. No, it's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens for sure.
Like I know with Cartel, like no one expected for them to get a map off us, but like we were just our cons were everywhere, and then like they just played a really good game at elevation, right? So like, I mean, we didn't go in underestimating them. It's just like you can always have like those bad games where it's just like kind of unfortunate, but that's when you have to kind of like just regroup, just reset, and like
For
don't
sure.
let it get to your head.
Yeah, because we actually had I'd say like at some point, a little point during the thing, we even started having a little conflict with each other. Where it's like, oh, like
Yeah,
you're not calling out for me, and it was like, yeah, I am. You're not hitting the shot, and like that doesn't help anything, and it just actually adds like more pressure,
damn,
which
chaos
made it
Oh,
harder
yeah.
for
trafficking
them to try
leaks.
to bring it back.
To be fair, like Cartel's been like massively improved. Like, how haven't
Oh
they-
yeah,
For
that's
sure.
why
Yeah.
that's why I went in with like the mindset like I'm not gonna like sleep on these guys. They've been practicing hard, and of course like they learn from gang players, so it's like they might not be at the same caliber as a gang player, but like the way they're being taught,
Yeah,
you can never sleep on them.
and also
And plus, they're like good players, just in general. So it's whatever.
probably gonna end up third if they keep improving. Like they'll probably end up third.
I think there's a good shot of that. I mean, I could see Nuts though. Like once the bracket actually comes out, I could see Nuts like really trying to kick it into gear and try to like almost like boot camp it in a way, but
The
like
thing
just
is, Nuts
knock the
lost
dust off.
versus Cartel because they're just very stubborn with their warehouse, even though it's kind of garbage. Like admitted to me by Lina, not me saying it. And then on the last map, which was Elevation, there was one mistake made by a player that basically lost them the map. Not never
Oh, damn.
one mistake never loses you the match, but one that definitely turned the side towards
Oh yeah.
Cartel.
Mhm.
Which is like, so I'm not really sure if that match got replayed like 10 times, I feel like 6 out of 10 times Nuts would have won then, but I don't know.
Mhm.
Cartel
Yeah, but
puts in
Nuts
way
isn't.
more practice, so at the same time they
Yeah,
could improve a lot.
Nuts isn't out though, so like I still give him a shot, like potentially. When like the brackets release, like the final elimination brackets out, and then because we're just playing for placement right now, I still give him a shot
Yep.
that like potentially if you start seeing them start scrimming a lot, playing together, doing some practices, and like especially I don't know if they can land a really good home map, I think home map and mode, they could potentially make things change. But as it stands right now, like Cartel, also not to be slept on, but like Cartels, they've really made a lot of progress and a lot of improvement.
Hmm. And just a quick question, Bryce. You've been playing PFMM, obviously. You have the most elo and stuff. Who
Mhm.
is who is the new player that has impressed you the most, just playing with them in PFMM?
Wow. New player. There's been probably G4. Um.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say
I
like one
haven't.
of the TM guys, like Luto or whatever.
Oh yeah, the TM dude. Yeah, dude. TM guys are like shit. Like trust me. But like probably yeah, Zudo plays the most PFMM out of like the TM guys, and he plays it kind of like me. So like it's kind of
Zudo is really good.
yeah.
Isn't he
So I
being
have a little
called
bit of a bias
isn't he
towards
being
that.
called a Nage Crutch as well? So
He is. He is.
there we go.
Hey, bro. Nothing wrong with being a nade crush. All I gotta say.
Bryce.
I mean,
Look, if you can't beat him, just join him. That is.
when I started
that's
when I started out competitive, like I barely used nades, and now that I'm using nades, the game's so much easier. Like it's even against good
it
players.
opens up. It opens up so much.
Yeah,
Like
there's
that.
so many
That's all I'm gonna say.
fights. There's so many fights you just auto win because of it, and you don't take damage from it. While in the other one, if you were to just fight them with your gun, you could have either lost to them or at best even traded. So,
Mhm.
so nades are
I was just
really
playing
important.
PFMM before this podcast, and it was like Metro, and I think we're on Go side. And like every time I'm running up Eskies, I'm like, okay, I'm Naden Box or I'm Naden Ticket, and you just get a kill off of it. It's like, well, guys,
It's
Ticket.
free value. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and
I got
you
Ticket
have
now.
3 of them every life.
Dude,
So,
it's annoying being the fucking side SK player. Like whenever I do
oh
these
yeah.
scrims, it's like, oh, I'm naded again. Oh look, another nade damage. It's like, oh great.
Side Esky takes a lot of game sense to play. Side
know.
Esky and
Oh,
Purple
yeah.
Room are like if you have a good side Esky or Purple Room player, like that can actually be game changing if they know the timings and they know like the wall bang angles, all that kind of stuff. The nade lineups, or not lineups, but just the timings on the
When
nades.
you're on Ghost and you have like someone holding down purple and someone holding down side SK, I feel like it's impossible to lose, especially on King of the Ring.
hmm
It's so hard to
Yeah,
like just get past those guys at that point.
it creates a lot of map control and pressure on the other team because if they're getting locked out and just spam down purple and like the nades aren't working, the flank isn't working, like there's not a lot you can do besides go down mid, which is just
Suicide.
does not always
Yeah,
work. Yeah.
it's just suicide.
I'm interested to see like Hardpoint's still relatively new and you see like some teams really aggressively like trying to learn it, but I'm really interested to see like long term how this is going to change, like how objectives thought about because Hardpoint like King of the Hill takes care of itself once you get the point. Same with Flare Dom, like you just keep getting the points, but Hardpoint you actually have to stand on it, which complicates things a lot more. I think it's a super interesting move to play.
Dude, it's so hard when you're playing like OBJ to have a good KDR and hardpoint, even against a worse team, because like
Yeah.
you're on the point. You're kind of in a lot of plays they're really open, and
Oh yeah, for sure.
it's and dude, bots like the guy showed me like the team rap, like he had like an entire he had to like on paint like written down like the strategy on hardpoint.
The rotations.
Dude, you can be really nerdy with it. Like you can be really.
Oh,
nerdy
yeah.
with this. Like,
We're trying to get to that level. We're like slowly, surely, but
I mean, if you want to upset gang one way, I guess that's one way of doing it with nerdy hardpoints. Unless
I think we can contest them like in any really kind of
yeah.
game mode. Like we have the talent to match them. It's just like we have to just be kind of like a toss up. Like who just plays better that map.
If
He
you
can,
had to
like-
give yourself the odds, like let's say like out of 100, so it'd be like 50-50 or something. What are the odds of you beating gang in the finals? Be realistic here. Not trying to hype up your team saying 100% or something.
Me personally, it could go either way. I can't put a number on it or like a value.
Okay, Pointman,
Like-
what about you?
I'd probably say 60 just from a preparation standpoint, because like I'd say we're doing more scrims and more practice than gang, and that translates not just in terms of like map like familiarity, because like everyone's been playing it a bunch, like all those guys are veterans, but sort of what I touched on earlier, which is just like chemistry and being comfortable with each other, especially like when things get really tough. Like our match against Cartel, for example, it wasn't a 2-0, and that created more pressure than we faced in most matches. But that's good as a learning experience because it gives us stuff to like work on. Even if we didn't have like potentially like our top starters in there, it still gives us stuff as a team to work on that we can do.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Plus, one thing I want to say is like I think people sleep on parts of like some parts of our roster because they think like they think of CHaOS. You got like Tom, Bryce, War, Roman, like those type of people. But then you also like we have a really solid roster all around. Like I'll take Tech for example. Like we dropped Tech in our first match on Cartel, and he had like an 11 KD at the beginning of the match. All of our guys are super versatile. We can like deploy them in a lot of ways, which gives us a lot of options when like approaching stuff, making substitutions and approaching like different maps that we might not expect.
Must be nice having a full team. Must be nice. Must be really nice.
Yeah, your team is like very like bare bones, but like you guys make it work. So like,
The thing is, like, I'm garbage at warehouse. It's my worst map in the entire game. Even in
What?
pubs, yeah, I'm so garbage at warehouse. Dude, you scrimmed. Well, quote unquote scrim. You what in YGC? You
Yeah,
stood in,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Dude,
Yeah.
when I play against good players, I don't know what to do. I just don't know. Like in Metro, I kind of have an idea of like what to do, but in warehouse, I'm like, I just hope they overextend. I kill them. That's the only thing I can do. I'm so bad at that map. It's.
A lot of warehouse is just like anticipating where they're gonna be,
Guess I'm just garbage
wall
at
banging
that.
them.
Guess I'm just terrible at that.
I mean, it takes time for sure. Cause like, if I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't like really the best warehouse player. I was a Metro player as well. Like I one trick pretty much, and like I would do average on other maps, right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, like I used to be a terrible desert player. I was like so shit at desert, but now I've gotten so much better at positioning. And then my desert play has just gotten a shit ton better.
Warehouse
So like,
positions are also really hard to push off. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
yeah.
off there.
Oh,
I was
you're
gonna
good.
say, like, one time in PFMM, like I was just full charging Drac in police, and it was horrible because he just kept head glitching me, and like I wouldn't even see him, and he'd be picking me off from different angles every single time. And I think Warehouse has a lot of like that's a map where movement really comes into play, and like how you play around the walls on top, because you can add like a 3D element to it if you're standing on top of the walls, super jumping
Oh
at
yeah.
buildings. So I think it just takes a lot of like practice through blood, sweat, and tears to like get to a level of real familiarity. And it also depends on your team too.
And the way I think about warehouse is like, or just any map in general. If you can wallbang it, like that opens up more of the map for you, right? As long as you can like kind of learn how to track through walls and stuff like that, you'll always have an advantage.
Oh, so I should download ESP. Alright, thanks, Bryce. No, but yeah, the thing is like, what I was gonna say of like having a full roster, I legit like just sub myself out every time we play warehouse because like I'm just
Okay.
I just that garbage at it. I'm so garbage. Like like it's when you're really bad at something, like it's really hard to motivate yourself to get better at it.
Oh yeah.
That's so, but yeah. To be fair,
One thing that's good though is like that self-reflection, like honesty, is like if you're not good at a map, like the figure out, like even if you think you're having a good day, like in the middle of a match is not the time to see if like the day's the day you get the map. Like that's what scrims are for. But you see people who are like, oh no, like I got this, don't worry, and then they sub themselves in and like do terribly, and like the team suffers as a result. So that's like still good to have that like awareness.
That sounds something like Motisma, you know, like, oh guys, I got this, myself said, quadruple negative. Yeah, but I took hill once, guys, I swear I'm good. Love him, no hate. Yeah, I was playing PFMM and I was just getting shit on by like the car head angles and I just started nading it. I almost became a nade crunch, almost joined the dark side. Just kept nading. Like, I swear, 80% of my kills. At the end, I went like 21 and 21. Like, most of them were nade kills at some point. Just nading.
Hey, bro, come to the dark side.
I just can't.
Like everyone hates us, bro. But like, I'm telling
Hate us
you,
'cause
once
they
you do
ain't
it, you can't stop, bro.
I have the nade crutch on my team, Joe Wilburn. Oh my! When I first started playing against him, like when I'm new to the game, I was like, I went to Motisma. This guy uses nothing but nades.
Oh lord. I mean, yeah, like I
Nades
use a lot
really,
of nades.
No, but nades are really important in competitive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially like because like when we scrim Pravda, like getting those early nade kills in and like getting us spawn trapped. That's like the best way to start out the map.
It opens up the map for you, you know? Easy positioning. You don't have to gunfight.
Exactly. So being good at nades is important. So wait, is Raptor a new gen?
He is, yes.
No, they didn't even show them out. Wow, bro. Your own team.
Oh shit! Yeah, well, Raptor is insane, bro. Like.
What's
TTV
what's
Raptor
this
G.
meme about him not missing? What's this meme about?
From our video, the SEL
yeah, from our team video, there's like, what he had a voice line. It's like, I don't miss, and he doesn't miss. He just doesn't miss.
No, Raptors rated 88 on like right now, which is insane given like the level of competition. Because it's not like, oh, he's pulling 88 in like minors, and he's just carrying his team. Like, no, he puts up very solid numbers. He also has a good like personality too. It makes him a good teammate. Because in like the VCs, he's always super positive and everything. Like it was on the cartel match, and like we're just coming off the loss, and he realized that his mic wasn't on the whole time, and he was like, "Guys, my mic wasn't on the whole time." Yeah, so he's good. I love him.
Yeah, positive vibes are underrated in like team settings because you like if you're only serious, like eventually you just like yell at each other at some point. But if there's like someone
Oh, yeah.
joking around, it's like.
Mhm.
Dude, I just had like a genius. I should like parody like those SEL videos and make Mod say I don't miss and then have like a recording of him just missing an entire time. I need to do something like that, but that takes effort, so I probably won't. I'll be honest, I'm kind of stalling to let Mod come back so he can do the ending segment, but
Oh, does he always do the ending segment?
last time I actually had Panda do it because he had to go again,
Okay.
but yeah. If you guys want, you can also do it.
How we do it?
Personally, I've ran out of ideas to talk about. I'm a bad podcast host, I guess.
No, you're
Should
good.
have
No,
time.
you've
No,
been
we've
like
been doing
carrying the
this for a while.
conversation.
This is good.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, you're doing a great job. So don't even worry about it.
You guys aren't telling me this and then dislike the video when it's out, right? No.
No, I'm telling you, like I wouldn't be saying you're doing a good. I honestly probably wouldn't.
Well, would you be flaming me right now, like you do in PFMM?
I wouldn't flame you, but like I would like I'd be like in my mind I'd be like, well, it could have been better. But no, that like seriously, I'm having a good time.
We've had a good talk. Like at the beginning, it was a little structured, but it like definitely devolved into like real conversation. I've had a good time.
The thing is with that is like we go through the questions and we're like, it's not like we like it's not that you guys answer the questions, but eventually we're trying to get you guys to loosen up and talk about stuff.
Yeah.
That's why we do that basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. I don't know if Mod's thinking. I think Mod doesn't realize we're doing that, but you know,
I think what you're doing is like perfect because it's definitely like kind of just like what's the term? Just like shit. I don't know the term, but like loosening you up, I guess. Like
yeah,
just getting you relaxed.
Just getting getting comfortable in the
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a comfortable environment. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just being able to talk.
Yeah, so like keep up the good work. I wouldn't be saying this. Good job.
You cut out, but thank you. I think you said something nice. Thank you.
Yeah, like you guys are doing amazing. Seriously.
Oh,
If someone let me know and they're like, "Oh, they just asked me if I want to be on this podcast, is like worth my time," I'd be like, "Yeah, go for it. Like it'll be fun." Especially like I like having Bryce here was really fun. Like having another person.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I think you guys are good gas. I don't know. It's just gas. Not yeah.
Mhm.
There we go. Gas. You two are good gas.
Thanks, man.
Like there's like there've been a few gas where it's like kind of hard to like get the top, but you guys are really chill. So that was great. That was great. I want to do more comp play. Like Mod wants to like popular people like Godslices, who's obviously an ex-comp player, so it kind of makes sense. But I want to do more current comp players. But I don't think we'll get to do a lot of good ones anymore because he shit talks all of gang all the time. So I don't know.
I think you could do Raptor honestly, because like Raptor also streams, so he's got like that. I feel like that would bridge both. You know.
Yeah,
And
and
he's
as like
new,
yeah, exactly. So like
perspective.
he could, yeah, like how it's like entering comp.
Just
Like
trying
I'm
to
sure you
make-
guys know.
Just trying to make chaos more popular by saying more chaos.
Hey, bro, shout to the man Raptor, TTV Raptor G.
He doesn't miss.
He doesn't miss.
I promise he doesn't miss, bro.